Hello. Oh, now the lines are working. Okay, can you hear me, Shannon?
Yep.
On stream? Excellent.
Yep.
Okay. Sorry, folks, for the delay. Streamlabs was being the worst. All right, so welcome to Adrift in Aldhalor, our weekly actual play D&D game set in our homebrew world of Arden. As always, our music is provided or licensed through musicbed.com, and our ambience is typically through Syrinscape, though sometimes TabletopAudio. I'm going to bring Shannon on now to talk a little bit about our partners. Shannon, welcome.
Hi. I'm trying to copy how Stefan did that heart. I have no idea. Well, let me just make sure.
That way. There he is.
Yep. Okay. You can hear my sound. Okay. Hi. It's Monday. I feel like I haven't streamed in forever, but it's only been a week.
You didn't do the power hour.
That's true.
Because of Easter, it'll really because my dad's birthday. I would have been able to.
Happy birthday to your dad.
Stream if we weren't doing his birthday yesterday.
Oh, well, that's exciting.
My family doesn't really do Easter is like a big deal kind of thing. We get together, but
yeah.
Carry on.
That's nice. Hope you all, if you celebrate, had a lovely holiday weekend. If not, hope you just had a lovely weekend in general. I'm going to talk about our wonderful partners, starting with Arcane Spectacles. They are your source for personalized D&D themed Christmas ornaments and that's not what that says. Top-notch tabletop RPG accessories. With the ability to personalize their ornaments with your D&D's party's names, you'll have a unique and memorable keepsake. They also offer dice mugs, wood spells trackers, wood dice vaults, and more. Visit them at arcanespectacles.com. Next, we have Underground Oracle Publishing. They are a best-selling ENnie-nominated TTRPG publisher building new and exciting settings for the cipher system of every genre you can imagine. Each setting includes everything you need to explore its unique world, including lore, species, descriptors, foci, creatures, ciphers, artifacts, and all of the rules that you need to play. Their current focus is Harrow the Blighted Plain, which I believe is live on Kickstarter right now.
It is. I backed it the other day.
Hey, I gotta do that still. You want to get the link for that and put it in chat? Yeah. So Harrow the Blighted Plain is a crystal punk fantasy setting filled with fungal oases, massive sand seas, and long-buried magitech. For as little as $3, you can join their Patreon and help shape Harrow in each of the worlds that they create. So Sean is getting that... what is it? Kickstarter link. Thank you. So if you haven't backed it already, do that. I'm going to do that when I'm done with announcements. And go support them because they're awesome. Next, we have Eddie Yorke. He is our character artist, an illustrator based in the UK who makes art for games and books. To visit his portfolio and get in contact with him, visit eyorke.com. He's been sharing some pretty cool stuff on his Twitter page recently, so if you're not following him already, go do it. Last but certainly not least, we have 1985 Games. They create affordable, accessible, high-quality accessories for D&D and other tabletop role-playing games. Our wonderful DM here uses their NPC cards to create really awesome NPCs for us. So if you would like to purchase those or any of their awesome wares, use the code ParadiceProd for 10% off your entire order. Don't forget to spell Paradise with C, not an S. It doesn't look right when I spell it with an S anymore because I just do it with the C all the time. Last couple of things here before we get started and go encounter some traps. Our campaign 1 backlog is up to date, so you can go check out our previous campaign. Very different characters from the ones that we're playing right now. It was awesome story. Go check it out. If you want a quicker way to catch up on that story, Sean has written recaps for every single episode of season 2. Those are on our Discord, so if you're not on Discord already, join us. Yeah, we'd love to have you. If you are interested in sponsoring an episode or 2 of Advantage in Paradise, shoot us an email at paradicerpg@gmail.com and join us on socials and all the places. .com. Join us in Paradise on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, Discord, Instagram, and TikTok. All the places. We'd love to have you. Let's play.
Good job, Shannon.
Thanks.
All right, let's bring the boys.
Let's bring the goobers. Remember, they're goobers. We got yelled at for not calling them goobers.
Did we? I don't remember that.
Uh-huh.
Who yelled at you for not calling us goobers?
Pretty sure
Is
it was
that
Stefan.
Easter candy?
What are you doing?
Easter candy.
You're...
Or the eggs?
All right.
The
Oh
Cadbury
my God.
eggs?
Stefan's
All
not
right.
talking today. He's just going to be miming the entire
Stefan
session.
is mute today.
Mm.
Mhm.
Does he know sign language? That is the real question.
All right. Shall we?
Let's
Damn.
do it.
Shanna, he told
Let's
your character
do
to
it.
jump off the bridge.
How dare you?
Don't that.
Poop.
what is-
It means poop, right?
Yeah.
Is that
It
really
does.
sign language for poop?
It is, yeah.
Wow. I love it. Alrighty. Last we met, folks, you guys, our companions, captured the microlife naturalist Syndill Ferix. You discovered her working on elemental devices in an apartment owned by Captain Otto Hastings, the man that you are searching for due to his betrayal of Sass, almost at Stefan, Sass, Jaquette, and Fearn. Now, this naturalist, Syndill Ferix, created a timed release and rapid, ever-flowing water device using the heart of a water elemental. The group surmised the device might be used to sink ships from within. Before you did much to interrogate her as she was unconscious, Saskia chastised Fearn for resorting to violence to capture Syndill, and chastised Jaquette for taking the threatening and aggressive approach to his initial interrogation. She asked for the opportunity to interrogate Syndill first, with a bit more kindness. Saskia's approach had middling success. It opened Syndill up to talking, but the woman's nihilistic views seemed to limit Sass's ability to break through. Though she did learn the location of Syndill's next meeting with Hastings, and got her to agree to help the party find the location in exchange for her research back. The party agreed to this, but decided to have Bruce and Septimus create a fake elemental device to keep the dangerous invention out of Hastings' hands. Jaquette also took this opportunity to interrogate Syndill himself, but he left his rapier and crossbow outside to assure Sass he had no intentions of using violence to gain information. He attempted to appeal to Syndill's emotions to try and discover her allegiances. He learned that she cares little for gold and seems to have ideological reasons to side with Hastings. Nonetheless, he told the woman that if she shows any sign of betraying the party's trust, he would not hesitate to kill her. The party decided Jaquette will disguise himself as Syndill to meet with Hastings, hand over the fake device, and pry for more information. Jaquette assumes Hastings has returned to his roots in the Alumno Defiance and intends to use these elemental weapons against the Convergency of Halcyon. He also speculates how this might connect through the different factions at play and what they get out of these deals. But after some rest, the party began the journey to the meetup location with Hastings, a place called the Old Temple. Syndill led them underground through a secret hatch into a set of smugglers' tunnels set up in an old abandoned mining shaft. The party fought off a giant fiendish bat hiding in the dark trying to eat Bruce, and made it down to the water level below. Here, Syndill said, the first traps await them as they stand before a long bridge over rapid moving water underneath. And this is where we left off. So, you all, as I just said, are at the mouth of this cave that leads from the mine shaft you went down. And you see before you a bridge. The bridge does look man-made. It is stone. And it goes over this very fast-moving rapids flowing out. It probably flows out into the sea at the end.
Would
Syndill-
this flow out? Sorry, would this flow out below where like the otter business is?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, cool, awesome, thank you.
So yeah, exactly. So like where there's that kind of large drop down to the water below, there's likely some kind of water flow that leads out from this particular underground river. Syndill stands before you and just sort of is like pointing at the bridge after she has said this is where the first traps are. What would you all like to do?
I turn to her and say, well, what kind of trap is it?
Oh, well, there are some false stones in here. And that too. And she points up. As you look up, there is a set of netting attached to the roof of the cave that seems like it might drop on you from the bridge position. And you have you now all notice where the horrible smell in this room is coming from, as the net is covered in and has like rotted fish guts in it, old bait and chum all throughout it, something that might attract something more dangerous. So the idea here is you get caught in a net on a bridge and covered in the food sort of certain predators that might be in this cave. If you don't, just fall off the bridge through the false rocks.
Is this like a well-made bridge? Like, are there like short walls or railings or whatever?
Yeah, no, this is not a well-made bridge. This is very much so purpose-built. I mean, it's not, because it's not like a rickety wooden bridge. It is made of stone, so it is, but it's just not excellent craftsmanship, you might say.
So is it? Would you say just like a flat, bridge over?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, no railings or safety precautions. Just a purpose bridge, just for moving through.
How far across?
It is a 20-foot long bridge. And there's a small drop from the stone that you're standing on to the water. That's probably about maybe close to 10 feet down. So it's not just sort of, you can't just like walk into the water and walk across.
Well, if you know the way across, please lead the way.
Yes, I do know the triggering stones, so if you follow my steps, you should not cause any problems. I will say, always be careful with your step, because there is something hidden here, and it is not always in the same place, so it is more about keeping yourself aware and not leaving your feet too long on a specific stone. So just move quickly and do not stop. And she looks to you all. Are you ready?
Well, I mean, have you done this with more than with a group this large?
I have not. Captain Hastings likely has, although he does not like to move with a large group through these tunnels. This is probably the largest group that has crossed the bridge. So it may be wise for us all not to go at the same time if it can't hold our weight, but I'm not sure.
Right.
It's not my specialty.
How about you go across with Jack and we'll go in twos.
Fair enough. Remember where I step, and I will also shout from the other side if I notice you about to step on a bad stone. Follow me. And she strolls across, and Jacquette, you can follow and match her feet. It's pretty easy to match her feet. You're going slow, and while the bridge is not particularly thick or wide, as long as you don't step anywhere she doesn't step, then you're good. She steps very specifically on stones. Like, she's not just walking; she's stepping on specific stones so that you can feel, so that you know there's no mistake of where she steps, so you don't accidentally step in any direction. Are the rest of you watching this to understand?
Yes.
I was going to say I'd like to watch closely to make sure.
Yeah, I would like everyone to give me perception checks then.
Bruce is gonna put his goggles on for this and just look at the stones.
Yeah, Bruce, give me a perception check as well with advantage.
Okay.
Sass, what was your perception?
17.
Okay.
If I may, Sean, as we're crossing, every time I'm going to give a little rap on my hand drums, and as I do, I'm basically going to be casting Minor Illusion to make a path. Just like, a faint glowing line that follows me, basically recasting it every time to change the image.
Okay, let me see.
Oh, it's only a 5-foot cube.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't think that can work with Minor Illusion.
I mean, you
It's a
could
good
just
idea.
like drop something like it, mark it with some chalk or some ink or something.
If I had.
Does anyone have?
Or you
It
just
could
have
not be
to
any of
attention.
you, because it could also.
Well, I can drop. I've got a rope that I'll basically just trail behind me
Okay.
to
Yeah.
mark the path.
Yeah. You'll have to take it slow so the rope doesn't stays in its
Right.
shape, but you
Yep.
can definitely mark the path, and she will correct you if anything doesn't look right. So no need for those perception checks, except for Bruce, if you want to still kind of get a.
Well, I
Look at
got like some dirt in my goggles, so
Uh-oh.
yeah,
So,
really have to clean them out.
Yeah.
That's
So
that bat shit on my goggles.
you got some bad shit on your goggles.
Yeah.
What'd you roll?
I rolled a 2 and a 3.
Oh my, wow.
Man, this party keeps getting hit with these bad advantage rolls.
Yeah.
I don't know, everybody else rolled pretty good on those perceptions.
And
So
then
yeah,
I
I mean,
took
I was
it
good. There's like Bruce, you still like with the goggles can still see like the design of the bridge. It's just if you got a little higher, I was gonna show you more of the mechanisms at work. But you can generally see the shape of everything. I would say actually, Bruce, maybe you could also sort of see like if you took it very slow, you'd be able to tell like which stones are off in their with your blind sight. It would just
Okay.
you just have to take it very slow. You can't see the mechanisms though with that roll. But I don't think there's much for you all to be worried about as you go across. I would like everyone to roll me a d20 though. Just a d20. And let me know if any of you get a natural one.
Yes, I got a 2.
Ooh.
I got a 2 also.
Nice.
Out of 4.
Wow, it's a good thing I didn't make it everything between like a 1 and 5 or something.
Yeah.
Okay, no natural ones. Okay, I'm just gonna roll for Syndill real quick. She got a nat 20, so. Okay, then no one triggers the special stone. That changes.
What does the special stone do?
You'll have to find out another time when you go through
Okay.
this tunnel. Okay, so you make it to the other side. Can someone remind me last week how long I said this was going to take you to get to the location?
An
don't-
hour.
Hour, that's what I thought.
And
I was.
Yeah.
The meeting was.
Jacquet had us leave 2 hours before the set meeting time.
So you'll get there an hour before the meeting time. Okay, perfect.
Barring any trouble.
Thank you. You shouldn't see any trouble, truthfully. You have, as long as she doesn't try to betray you. This first, I mean, you decide how you feel for your characters, but she did safely get you across this trap with no funny business. Okay. And, you've been traveling for quite a while, so you can presume that you're close. You were traveling probably for 40 minutes before, so it's like in the last 20 minutes leg of this journey that there are the traps at play.
I want to write down the trap order, like the step order anyway, for our way back.
Sure. Yeah, you can take your time and kind of draw it out a little bit. So, I mean, generally, I'm going to say that this does take a little bit of time. So, if you're doing anything beyond just following her, then that's going to add a little bit extra time. You'll arrive at the location a little bit later. Which is
We've got time.
it's good
I
that you
think
got
it's a
the
very
extra
good
hour.
idea.
Yeah, I was gonna say it probably took like 5 minutes. I think we could afford that.
Yeah, I mean, it is mapping a very specific stone pattern. I think it would take 5 to 10 minutes. I'm not saying it's going to take you an extra half hour. All right. So I'd say, after getting it down right, I'd say it's probably an extra 8 minutes added to your time. Bjorn, do you just kind of look at where the rope is and do that, or do you go back onto the bridge to map it?
I just look where the rope is.
Cool. Okay. Do you want to leave the rope here for now, or take it with you?
Take it with me.
Okay.
Never know when you'll need 50 feet of hempen rope. Am I right?
Yep.
All right.
It's also good to take it because if he comes this way as well, he'll be like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, exactly.
So, moving on. You go through. As you get to the other side of the bridge, you can see that there is a left-hand tunnel, and the air smells a little bit fresher as you're starting to move into this tunnel. The next chamber that you enter has a no exit that you can see when you first enter into it. It's kind of a rounded room, and you can see the walls are all slick with water. You see on the opposite side, about 10 feet up on the wall, you can see there's an opening that leads further along. And anyone looking can see that there does seem to be a coiled rope up above there that's been coiled and hung on the wall. Essentially, someone walking through from the other side could throw the rope down, climb down. When you climb back up, you can roll the rope back up so that people can't get up if you're going through. She looks around into this room and points up towards the ceiling, where you can see there is the source of the water dripping down the walls. There seems to be something sort of holding back water in this chamber. She looks and she smiles. She says, this one is a bit of a device of my own making, at least the effects of it. There's one of those, sort of one of those up there right now. As she points to wherever you're keeping the elemental device. So, this is a chamber that you have to be very careful in, otherwise you may find yourselves drowning by the morning. We'll fill up with water, basically. If you step into the center of the room, bars come down on both entrance and exits, and the room begins to fill with water. So, stay to the sides, and then we just need to find a way up the 10 feet. Which, if you, big strong man, can lift one of us up, we can toss the rope down.
I resent that, and I misty step up to the top so I can drop the rope.
Or that. I did not know that you wanted to use magic, but okay. And then she starts to slowly move on the edges. Keep yourselves out of the basin center.
I would follow suit.
Walk around the edge.
Hey, Fern, can you give me help? Some help getting up here?
Yeah, I guess. But there's a rope.
I'm not very strong.
No problem.
Bruce skipped the rope climbing day in gym. So yeah, you can all keep on the edges. This one doesn't have any super random stuff. It's just basically a fillable room. That's all it is. And you can climb up to the top. And start
the rope for everybody.
And start heading through this tunnel. This is another tight tunnel, like the one before, that has fairly tall ceilings. So you may want to keep your eyes up for giant bats. But she would indicate to you all, so that is now 2 traps that I have gotten you through with no problems. There is only one more room to get through before we get to the old temple. All right. So you're moving through another kind of crevasse tunnel. Would you like to keep your eyes out at all for any bats or anything?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Go ahead and give me perception checks
I
for
would-
those who can see in the dark.
I was gonna say, I would have my, I think, light still on my hammer as we're just trudging
Oh,
through
that's a
this.
good question. Yeah. Do you want to keep that on throughout?
Yeah, I like to just keep it on throughout.
Okay. So, looking up, because now you can definitely see the ceiling with this light, and you do notice that there is a smaller pair of bats, giant bats in here, and as soon as that light enters into this hallway, they pull themselves into these little nooks up there to hide away from the light. And it seems like as long as you've got this light on, they're not going to bother you, because they don't see an opportunity to actually ambush you and take Bruce away.
All right. Do
But
you
you can
typically
see-
want talking to her?
Syndil?
I say Syndil. Do you typically not use a light source coming through here?
If I need to, I will. But I have there's the good chance, or the good luck, to have the ability to see in the dark. Now, sometimes when I'm going through these crevasses, I will bring the lights out to hide the bats away. But if I'm moving quickly, or I don't want anything to see me, then I sometimes move in the dark. And occasionally I will brew up an invisibility potion to get through. Truthfully, that is more often what I do. So, truthfully, I'm a bit on edge, traveling through with so many people. But for the most part, we are past the dangerous animals. There are deeper things here, though. Just animals that I would like to avoid. So keep quiet.
As long as you keep your word.
I have so far. And then she carries on.
Introduce the next room.
So the next room, she stops at the end of this long, thin corridor. And you can see now at the end a doorway that is basically a crack in the rock that kind of has this long, thin, triangular shape that then goes up into splintering cracks in the ceiling. And it's very dark through there, but she points into this hole, essentially, in the wall. We pass through here, and it will bring us into the next chamber, which is a room within the old temple. The room itself is trapped. So, when you get to the other side, well, perhaps I should do it first, and I can disable the trap.
Why don't you tell us what it is first?
It's a rather crude trap. I must say the previous two are more sophisticated and interesting, and developed by more interesting minds than pirates. But basically it's just a good old-fashioned crossbow bolts from the walls.
Tried and true trap, to be sure.
So I will go through and I'll disable it. If you are amenable to that.
I'd like
Of
to.
course.
Okay.
I'll just be right behind you.
I'm not quite sure that I believe her.
Okay.
If she's being totally honest, this has been way too easy. So I don't think I totally believe her. I'm not saying anything out loud, but
Insight
you
check.
doing
I mean,
something
Septimus,
about it?
Septimus Roy is like, did we not? We can't go with one other person.
Oh no, Jacques is going to follow her. I'm going to follow her. I'll be right on their ass. But, like, not actually on your ass. Respectfully.
Okay.
Gloveless, can't you use one of your invisible fellows to perhaps activate the trap?
I can. I'm sure I could disable the trap well enough myself. But Syndill has helped us so far, Jacques says, looking at her. And she knows the consequences, should anything go amiss.
she does, but this does seem a bit too simple. We just waltz right through those other
We have an
rooms.
agreement that I would get you through the traps. If there's someone who knows the traps you going through, of course it's going to be easy.
I don't know. Something's not sitting with me right. You have kept your word, I'll not deny that.
You may have met me through nefarious means, but I am a woman of my word. I hold true to it.
Your word was to get us through these tunnels. It says nothing about when we get there.
Of course, but you also have something I want.
All right.
Trust me or don't trust me. When we get there, it's over. Our exchange is done. You speak to Captain Hastings for whatever the hell it is you want from him, and I leave. And you leave. Though I don't know if Captain Hastings is going to be very happy that I've led supposed rivals of his through his secret tunnels and showed them his secret traps. So maybe I should be more worried about you and what you plan to do with me at the end of this road. And your word.
Well, I guess
That's
we'll have
fair.
to find
How
out
about we get to the end first, and then we can start talking.
what you said.
That's fair. I didn't start this conversation. And she starts to
Technically,
move.
did.
Well, technically, the conversations are multi-leveled, and that doesn't matter. Follow me, you cat.
Meow. As she turns around and starts going, Jacques is going to turn to the rest of them and just, make symbols, fingers to his eyes and fingers on her, and then, like, pointing it around to be like, kind of like he agrees with Sass, keep your eyes open. And then he turns to follow Syndill.
Okay.
I'd also like for Bruce, from when I can manage, just be looking on the walls for said traps and whatnot.
Yeah, so do you want to be, like, up against the wall and using your blind sight to try to see the other side?
Correct.
Cool.
Yeah.
Go ahead and give me there's obviously a baseline that you'll be able to see regardless, but just give me an investigation check for, or investigation or perception, your choice.
I'll do investigation. 17.
Okay. So you can see as the two of them go in, you have this like obviously, like, the blind sight's interesting because you can't see through walls, but if there's if there's a crack that leads through, you can see.
Tremor sense. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's what I mean. It's like an interesting way to try to explain it. The lines come together to have that tremor sense through. And you can see it's interesting. It's like every time Jacques and she steps, there's sort of like this, like almost like wave of their silhouette that goes up, and then it disappears, and then they step again, and it appears again. And you can see as they get close to the end of this tunnel, which is really only about 5 feet deep, And then it opens up into a room that you can see is basically just a very simple square room, empty. There's no like barrels or storage or anything in there. It's just a stone structure, and you can definitely see the holes in the walls that the crossbow bolts would come through. And you can see these simple trigger tripwires throughout the room, basically every 2 feet into the room. And the room's small, it's only 10 feet, 10 foot by 10 foot square. But every 2 feet there's one of these triggers, basically. So sure, you disable the first one, but if you keep walking in, you'll get hit by the next batch. As you're moving through kind of sideways through this crevice, kind of you also, it's not just like a straight walk. There's a point where you have to kind of like step over a rock and then dip down underneath and get through. It's very claustrophobic till you get to the end, and she turns back to you, Jacques, and says, can I borrow your dagger?
I'm sorry, you didn't bring your own?
I gave you one.
I forgot I was given a dagger. Well, look, here it is. And you see she sort of leans in and cuts the first wire. You hear the mechanisms, and bolts fire out. You hear them just break against the stone walls. And then she crawls out, and she stays low. Just starts slowly, triggering the next ones.
Jacques is following about like 5 feet behind, and he whispers as she's doing this, and he goes,
You set these off every time you come through?
Yes. It's not efficient, obviously, but sometimes to be honest, we don't always set this trap up. Sometimes we just let the other two do the work. And the last one. And she stands up. And the room is cleared. She holds her hands up like this, kind of shaking the dagger, like with a little head nod to you.
Jacques kind of gives a little back to let the others know that it's clear. And
Timber shows up.
And then is there like an exit here, like a door?
Yep. Yeah. So basically, right. She went through the whole 10 feet, and then on the opposite side, you can see there is a makeshift door. It's like it's not. It's really more so they attached a few planks of wood together and put it here. It doesn't even swing open and closed. It has to be taken off, like pulled away and leaned up against the wall. And you can see now that you're kind of in here proper, you can see that there is a little bit of light that bleeds through that looks very, very faint because it's really because it's nighttime, it's so deep into the night that it's moonlight coming through. So you can tell the other side is open to the elements, and you can actually faintly hear the waves at the bottom of the cliffs and a bit of wind coming through.
I'll go across next.
Okay.
I mentioned Bruce would be like, and then try to be right behind Saskia.
Come on, Bruce. And I'll hold
Hey,
his hand.
hey.
Fearn goes in.
Yeah, Fearn, it's a pretty tight squeeze for you, but you get through with a little bit of wiggling. And then Septimus, you can follow, and everyone is in this small room now. There's broken bolts all over the floors.
Oh.
I hand Septimus back his dagger from last session. I don't think I ever returned this. I don't think I'll be needing it for now.
Oh. Very well.
Where do we go from here?
Right through this door. will lead directly into the old temple. This is a temple from long ago, before Hyven was even here.
I was about to ask you what the old temple was exactly.
I don't know. I just know it's an old temple. I don't study archaeology. There is a very peculiar form of leech that lives in the waters that gather on the pooled temple pools in the temple divots that I have studied before, but I don't know anything about ruins.
How big are these leeches?
Well, I told you I study micro-life, so they're very tiny.
Oh, okay, good.
No bigger than your pinky.
Oh, my pinky. All right.
But you don't want to get covered in them, so watch out for puddles. They swarm.
Noted.
What about the temple itself? Is there a reason why it's a meeting place? Like, does it have any natural defenses or
It's incredibly hard
modes
to
of
get to,
escape? Oh, okay.
and very few people really know about it.
Is
Only
there?
a few researchers at the university have come here in the past, and they've done all their research. They don't really have any reason to come back.
And I assume there's nothing living in there besides you and hopefully the captain.
Huh?
There are other creatures that call these tunnels home. But as long as we are not too loud, they have no reason to come up, and Captain Hastings, as far as he has told me, has dealings with them to allow us free passage in these tunnels.
Speaking of Hastings, will he be arriving the same way we came in?
Not usually. He has come that way before, but he usually comes in from the water. A small ship climbs up the rocks. It's harder, physically, but it is better than having to bypass traps.
I look at Jacquette. Are we doing the thing now, or we wait until we get inside?
Let's wait a moment. Maybe get the lay of the land. See if you can find some good places to hide out until the meeting goes down. Meanwhile,
Jacquette kind of turns to Syndill and goes like, maybe we could chat for a bit.
We have the time.
How about we scout out an area first before we start talking?
Well, I meant you guys do the scouting when I do this.
Oh, that's a great
To
idea.
maximize our time.
Yeah, that's much more efficient.
And
use of our
basically, all I want to do here is I'm not really trying to get information. I'm just trying to learn her mannerisms, the way she speaks, like things that might set, like trigger something or another, so that I can, mimic her as best as I can without being a third level mastermind.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess, we don't have to roleplay the whole thing, but what sort of stuff do you ask her about?
How well do you know Hastings? Are you very friendly? Is it more of a work relationship?
I have met Hastings through a friend who's no longer with us.
My condolences.
I don't have much of a relationship with Hastings besides business. And his promises.
His promises?
There's not much I want to get into too deep. This is a professional exchange of service. We are not friends.
Of course, my apologies.
So if you only know him that well, what about, in case Hastings doesn't show up? What are his other subordinates? Are you close with them? Is it, again, just a business?
Business is short with them. Little is exchanged besides goods and specimen.
And so you give them things, and do they give you anything in return?
She kind of eyes you now, and she sort of says, "What are you on about?"
I'm just trying to make sure that during this exchange, should you do anything out of character, we're able to catch it.
This is how they usually go. They arrive, they arrive. I give them what they asked for, and they give me what they can. They hand me a note, which is our next meeting. Occasionally there's discussion of work and what they actually want. That's it.
Okay, fair enough.
There's no secret codes or anything like that.
No red buttons under the counter, should something be going wrong?
Oh, I would personally like to install them, but these, this is not my place to meddle. This room is the only room that any kind of meddling happens. And she looks at the traps. We don't touch anything in the temple. It's part of the deal Hastings has made with its true inhabitants.
Fair enough. So how do you feel about oysters? And Jacque's just going to basically force small talk out of her.
Yeah, and I guess what you'll learn mannerism-wise is she's very short,
Right.
and sort of like the notes that Septimus found, very pessimistic. So, often she'll pepper her language with, of course not. Of course you won't understand. Of course, nobody cares about this. Nobody cares about my opinions on this. No one cares about this. Very much to someone who's talks badly about themselves, and is very pessimistic. Believes most people are just trying to trick her or betray her. So anytime you try to do small talk, she's like, "What are you on about?" And just keeps kind of questioning you. She doesn't really shut down though. So she's, psychologically she's distrustful, but wants to talk to people, wants to have conversations, wants to connect, but is just not very good at it. And therefore, often it's very negative.
While they're doing that, can Bruce and I go into the temple?
I want to go too.
Yeah. I
Absolutely.
think the rest of us will go in and scout out spats.
Yeah. So the one thing she will say to you all, before the conversation with him started, and as you were going in there, the meetings usually happen in the don't know what to call it in the temple. It's sort of a sacred room, what I presume, but the room with the big pool in it, essentially. At one time was likely
the main chamber.
Yeah, exactly. Some kind of main chamber. There's an old altar in there that's all worn away and has no discernible markings. So there's an outer chamber and then the main chamber. The outer chamber is open to the air. We're close to the water line. So there's a drop, but not a drop enough for it's difficult to come up, but not all the way up, so to speak. But you can look for yourselves. But if you're looking for places to hide while I'm talking to Hastings, the conversation happens in the chamber. So, and when you go out, basically you step out, and there is this large outer chamber, which is like almost a massive vestibule, like you'd find in like a cathedral, where there's or antechamber. That's the word I'm thinking of, antechamber. And it's it's got these very well made but old looking pillars holding up this space. There's a wide opening that shows that you can immediately hear the waves coming in and see the moonlight bleeding in to this chamber. Throughout the chamber, there are obelisks, very small obelisks that have what look like what at one time were lanterns attached to them. You can see old worn steps by the opening of the cave that you could presume are the original way to walk up into this temple. It does seem like the temple originally was not accessible from the mainland, but you needed to climb the cliffs to get to it. It's incredibly weathered, and there's not a lot remaining of what this temple once was too. There's some odd statues that are vaguely elemental in nature, but it's hard to tell what they actually were because they're kind of just these massive shapes that maybe at one point were painted, and you could tell more easily what they were. And then you can see there is a tall, like 15-foot tall stone doorway that leads into the next chamber. And there's a faint glow to this chamber, a faint bluish-green glow. And if you were to step in there,
Coming from the doors.
Coming from the doors, yeah.
And the doors are open?
Yeah, the doors are open. It looks like they don't look like they've been disturbed. It looks like they just leave these doors open. They're big, heavy stone doors. It's probably actually no one can really close them. So they're just sort of there. And inside you can see a faint glow coming from the water and the rocks.
Okay.
So I'd say there's about 8 pillars in total in the room. Sort of a quad of 4 on each side of the main kind of path that leads from those old weathered steps at the cave entrance. And the cave entrance goes the whole span of this room. So if we're thinking about the actual size of this room, about 80 feet across from where you walk into the opposite side. And you can see on the left is the cave opening that leads out to the ocean, and on the right is where that 15-foot tall doorway is in the middle of the wall that leads into this next chamber. You can see that looks like there used to be on the left and right outside of the line of pillars in each corner of the room, essentially, there is what looked like at one time were wells of water or little fountains. The ones closest to the cave entrance are filled with just rainwater that's cloudy and murky, and if you get close to them, you would immediately see thousands and thousands of leeches swimming in them. The ones on the right are a little more shallow. They just have kind of a little bit of collected water in there from heavier storms, but mostly empty and just filled with kind of old gunk.
I want to go stand on the edge facing the opening to the water. And just this kind of just happens like automatically. So like we get there, I hear the waves and all that, and Fear, you would recognize this is what Sass would do every morning on the raft when we were out at sea for that month. That like ritual that she would do where she would go and kind of just like take nice big deep breaths, breathing in the sea air, and I kind of do it just without thinking. I'm close to the water, so that's what I do, and it's almost morning. So while I'm after I do that, I also want to look down into the water and see if there's anything coming.
Yeah, so give me a perception check. Without just the baseline of what you see in general is a very lovely vista, really, even though you can't see a lot because it's nighttime. I mean, it's almost morning, so you do see that kind of like thin band of lighter blue on the horizon. As the sun is going to rise in an hour and 40 minutes, roughly.
Mhm.
And you can see some lights from the lower part of Hyven, because you are, you're a little lower, actually, I'd say, than the cliff drop of the Widow's Ward that you had originally, when you almost fallen down. So you're actually looking up, and you can see some of the lights of Hyven to the left. Folks are waking up early. And then to your right, you can see it's the open ocean. And then across the bay, you can just barely make out the coastline of the mainland, not just the peninsula of Hyven. What was that perception check?
14 again.
With a 14, almost you just barely make out the very dim silhouette in the moonlight of a ship off coast.
Is it too dim to tell if it's the Bone Rattler?
It's not that it's too dim out; it's that it's too far away.
Too far away.
That and the only reason you can really see it that well is because you have Devil's Sight. Granted, it doesn't go that far, but I'm going to say it allows you to get a glimpse.
Yeah. Okay. There's a ship. Might be the Rattler, might not, but there's a ship out there. Just so you know.
Do you want to put a alarm spell down so that we know when he gets here?
Is it going to make a lot of noise?
No, I could just have it ring in our heads.
Sure.
All right.
Might be helpful.
I'm gonna lay an alarm spell down, by the beach and have it ping in our heads.
Okay. The other two, are you doing any kind of investigating or looking around?
Yeah, I'd like to go further into the main room where the light was going. I want to kind of like explore more and investigate the temple itself.
Fion's kind of just like standing in the middle of the chamber, just letting the party search around and like waiting for somebody to like, scream if there's a problem.
Okay. So kind of just keeping a general eye on things.
Yeah, just like checking corners and stuff.
Yeah, go ahead and give me an investigation check. Septimus, you can also give me an investigation check while Bruce is setting up the alarm spell. Sass, you start to see blue-green aurora-y lights in this space, dancing around, almost moving through the pillars, dancing to the chamber.
So they're around the... Are they kind of like... Are they like... What's the word I'm looking for? They're like follow me. Yeah.
These ghostly lights that are bluish,
Do they
with
look...
also some like a pale green, almost a hauntingly green.
Are they the same lights that I saw before?
Yes.
Cool. All right. I'm gonna follow them.
Okay. Whoever made investigation checks, let me know what you got.
I got a 19.
19?
Yeah.
Fearing on 19, 16 from Septimus. Okay, Septimus and Fearing, you both would notice this. You both got a high enough check for this. Even just like walking around, you and like checking things, looking around corners. The number one thing that's most notable here is there's markings on some of the walls and the floor. They're not footprints, but they do seem like tracks. And they look like scraping tracks that one might find from crustaceans. But they're large.
Into the stone?
Yeah, it's almost like something dragging their claws or walking with clawed feet or clawed appendages have moved through this space a lot more than... You don't notice any other, you don't notice people footprints anywhere. If there were people footprints from the few times that Syndill and Hastings moved through here, they've been covered over by the movement of these spider-like appendages. And you notice them, Septimus, since you're particularly investigating towards the chamber, the room, you notice they all seem to come from this chamber. And when you get in there, you would see, it looks like this.
Ooh.
All right, so I came from what, the bottom of
The bottom, yeah.
Spoopy.
The bottom is where you would be coming from.
Interesting. And is there like this luminescent, like,
That's cool.
water or liquid that's old?
Yep. Yeah. So the water is not fully luminescent, but there seems to be some like almost like wisps of illumination in the water. Like the green that you see on the rock illuminates a little bit in the water, as if the water is probably just groundwater, but it has this almost septum serum. If you could call it that in there.
Okay.
Fionn is kind of just like remembering his time hunting for crustaceans on the beach when they were stranded there, and his like looking at these tracks, it kind of reminds him of that, and he starts like licking his lips, like he's like, oh, those crabs were so good. I hope when I kill these giant ones, they taste just as delicious.
Does anyone else? Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. How far in can I see?
Oh, yeah, that's right. You're blind. Do you have?
Well,
your...
I'm doing my light.
Okay. So what's the light distance on your light?
I believe it's 20 regular, then an additional 20 dim. Yes. Bright light and 20 feet radius, then additional 20 feet dim light.
Okay. So 20 feet of bright and 20 feet of dim, then you can see.
I can see like the edge of the pool, and I can't like see the bound of like the rest of this room, right?
Basically, yeah. You'd be able to see. The whole room has a very dim light to it because of the glowing algae. So you would be able to see everything in a very dim way, but where it's most clear would be just up to the water's edge.
Yeah.
So you can see the shapes beyond that.
Can I see that structure that's on the battle cam in the water?
No, you'd have to get deeper in to see all of that.
Okay, then Septimus is just gonna kind of like chill there, and kind of just listen and be, I guess, alert, because he wants to investigate more, but he's not gonna go further into this room, especially with it being pretty dark and it like widening up and seeing these things.
And so you're just standing there, kind of just. I'm gonna wait, and Sass comes in on a beeline, following these lights that she sees.
Oh, so there's like this wisp thing that's like going through here.
You don't see it.
I don't see anything. I just see Sass just
beeline in, yeah,
just yeeting through this room.
Basically, yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Then
I'm stepping lightly. I'm trying not to make noise, but I'm following the lights.
Okay.
And then what's Fionn doing? Is he still there?
I would say that at this point, I'm kind of like at the entrance, just looking in, like slowly behind, like not rushing to get to your side, but like a little concerned that everybody's going into this room without him.
How fast is Sass moving? Is she running?
No, I'm not running, but I'm definitely like walking with a purpose.
Okay, then in that case, Septimus would probably follow her, because again, he didn't want to go in this room alone, so he's gonna just follow her, and even know whatever she's doing.
Yeah.
Sea Witch, are you all right? What's going on?
Fine. I see something. Do you not see that? Do you see the lights?
Shake my head, no.
Of the pool? Of the water?
I don't say anything. Just keep following the lights.
Okay, so you follow them to the edge
Where
of
are
the
they
pool.
going?
They go to the edge of the pool.
Okay.
I lean over to Septimus as she heads ahead, and I just say, I believe this is part of her gift. It's best to just let her do what she wants. Have a little faith.
I guess it was just the lights from the pool.
Okay. Now that we're all close to the pool.
Mhm.
Well, unless you're going to do something further. Septimus are just going to investigate the pool a bit. Like, is it shallow? Is it, like, deep?
Give me a investigation check or perception check. Saskia, the wisp goes into the water and disappears.
That's interesting. Can
What
I
is it
see
that you
anything
see?
below? As he starts talking. Just shh. Do I see anything below the water? Do the lights like kind of like continue underwater?
And they disappear once they go into the water.
Huh.
What was your investigation
I got
perception?
18.
18. Okay. The water seems fairly shallow. It probably would come up to your waist at its deepest, which would be towards the actual structure in the back that you can now see. So when you do look back at that structure, like that is like that rock continues up to the ceiling.
Okay.
And basically joins with the ceiling in the back walls. But you do see this crevasse in the middle that is completely dark inside, that you can see on the battle map there.
Yeah.
What about that rock that's like a stepping stone?
Yeah,
Is that
so
like
That's the thing that goes up to the ceiling.
the
No.
back area goes up to the ceiling.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
This rock here
Okay, sorry. I
looks to
misunderstood.
be the altar that Syndill had mentioned that has weathered away most of its markings. The water gradually gets down to your waist. At the first steps into the water would probably only come up to maybe mid calf.
This place is old. Very old.
I think I'm gonna hide in the water. I can
What?
breathe. Yeah, I'm gonna hide in the water.
Did you not listen to what she said before? There's small leeches and stuff throughout all these waters.
In the puddles. They're like puddles.
I thought she meant all the water that exists.
Are there leeches in the water?
Water looks still.
I
Doesn't
think
mean
it's
there
just
aren't any
the
leeches in
puddles.
there. Just means
Yeah.
that they are not swarming necessarily.
they're probably at the bottom? Yeah.
This is much muckier. Like the bottom looks muckier than the fountains outside. The fountains outside were stone basins. This is a still body of water in this cave, so it's got some. So you see some of that algae glowing in the water. That makes up sort of a more mucky bottom.
I'm gonna take one of my lemons that I had got from the market, and I'm gonna gently drop it in and see if any of the leeches swarm.
Yeah, as soon as the water's disturbed, you see dozens and dozens and dozens of leeches swarm out of the muck at the bottom and swarm the lemon. And then immediately swarm away from it as it's too sour.
You want your entire body like that?
No. I think there's something in the water, though. I can't see it. But she wants me to go in there. I'm kind of talking to myself.
Oh, she?
Yeah. She does. But why would she send me in there if she knows there's leeches? It doesn't make sense.
Well, there's only one way to find out. I'm gonna cast Ray of Frost onto the water and see if we can kind of purge the leeches, or perhaps freeze a chunk of it so we can see better. Or, I don't know what I'm doing, really.
That's okay. Before you do that, I do want to check back in with Bruce. I know that Jacques is still talking to Syndill, basically.
I was going to have Bruce interject at some point.
Okay.
Hey, guys, where are you?
Yeah, Bruce, basically you do turn around from casting the alarm spell, and you look around, and everyone's gone. You're alone.
Oh, no.
Bruce is just gonna like slowly make his way, just like try to see any sort of light, hoping that he could see Septimus's light.
Yeah, you'd be able to see Septimus's light from outside.
Oh,
so
hey guys, and he's gonna waddle over. What are you guys doing?
I was just taking a gander at this grand room here, but she wants to go jumping in for some lights that she saw.
There's something in the water.
Well, there's a lot of leeches in the water, that's for sure.
Yes,
that's what I told her.
Yes, and did I jump in? No, I didn't jump in.
Do you have any ideas for clearing out the leeches? Maybe we can distract them or something.
Why
do we need to go in there though? I don't understand.
I don't understand either.
Very abruptly, I now turn and walk to my right along the edge of the water, and I'm holding on to my amulet, and I'm talking to myself, but I'm saying, do you want me to go in the water? Do you not want me to go in the water? If I go in the water, I'm going to be eaten alive. So
when she gets like this, she can be really stubborn. I find it best to just play along. It usually turns out pretty good.
I'm not going to sit here and watch her kill herself.
Right, I'm not either. I
right,
don't care
so
what
let's
tells me to do, or...
for everyone to be happy. I'm not saying,
You just told me to sit and wait, let her do her thing.
No, I mean, like, we can help.
Gonna...
She says that we need to get in the water, so we gotta think of a way that's not gonna kill us.
How about we first deal with the situation at hand, and then we can worry about...
Yeah, we only have less than an hour before the meeting. You want to go splashing in the water? What if something goes wrong?
Let's not open a can of leeches prior to this.
Oh my boo.
Sass.
Yeah.
While you're moving through the water, or not through the water, around the water and looking at it, give me a perception check.
Uh-huh. Ugh, that was almost really good. 7.
That's water.
Damn it.
But what I will say is there is this feeling that you get of you don't see anything, but you feel this flow almost of energy from you to the water. It's powerful. There is latent divine magic within these waters that you don't know it's divine, but you feel this water as power. She wants it.
What happens when I ray of frost the water?
Yeah, let's get that. So, do you just kind of like just in that general area where the leeches were with the lemon, shoot the or just anywhere?
I think I'd probably aim not for the altar. Like, I want to shoot where the lemon was. Cool. Try and kill. I'm basically trying to kill the leeches.
Oh yeah, easily though. Like you shoot the ray of frost, no rolls or anything necessary. You just see like whoosh, this sort of like space of the water all freezes rapidly and cracks. So there's now kind of like floating ice in the water, and you can see the leeches. Any of the leeches that were within, I'll say like a 2 foot by 2 foot area there, just immediately freeze and die. And you can see some of them float up to the surface at that point, or some of them float down to the bottom. But yeah, you kill a like 60 leeches in one shot. And you can see the water gets disturbed more, and you can see like leeches kind of come up in other areas. It seems like anytime the water kind of ripples out, the leeches get activated a little bit. And mostly it's just them like thinking there's something moving in the water and trying to latch onto it, and then once they just find themselves swarming with themselves, they settle back down to the bottom.
So from this, little test, is there a chance that if I continue casting this cantrip, like from what I can guess as my character, that I can, clear out the leeches in a reasonable amount of time?
I would say not in a reasonable amount of time. It would because it's a rather big pool and there's a lot of leeches in it, but they do seem to not like the cold of how cold it makes the water in that area. You do see the leeches left that area, like the ones that died, but the rest of them moved away. So with the increased temperature or decreased temperature of that area of the water, they seem to stay away from it.
Sea Witch, come here. Look at this.
I'll hear him and I'll go over, and as I'm going over, I'll still be like talking to her, but it looks like I'm talking to myself. So you don't want me to go in the water, you want the water. What do you want the water for? And just talking to myself, and as I'm going over, I'll call to Bruce. Bruce, you got a spare vial, or Septimus, somebody got a spare vial I could borrow?
Since this is taking too long, Fearn just reaches into the cold part of the water where he thinks it's clear, or he might shoot one more ray of frost in the same spot, and then, bracing his hand for the cold, he scoops the water up in his horn, which is kind of like like an instrument, but he's like holding the mouth part of it closed with his thumb.
Okay.
I guess that works too, but yeah, I do have a vial.
Well, I pour it into the vial now. I just wanted to be quick about it.
Don't get it all over my hands.
It's fine.
As soon as you have
it
any
out.
of the water close enough to you, you feel unbelievably thirsty.
Oh no. I'm holding it. I'm holding the vial, and I make that noise. I don't know if it came through the mic, but I make that. Okay, great. I make that noise, and I kind of just freeze, and I'm like,
Hey, Saskia.
I gotta take my water skin. I'm not drinking this water yet. Does it help?
You sip your own water?
My own water.
Turns to sand in your mouth.
Fuck.
You all watch Saskia spit sand out. Like, literally turn to sand in your mouth.
Really? What? Do I have to? I don't want to. And
She's talking to the water vial and her necklace and just spit sand out after drinking.
Guys, can we all slow down a bit? There's a lot we don't understand right now, and we're supposed to be looking for a place to hide.
Right, we have a limited amount of time before.
Yeah, sorry.
This is clearly dangerous to be tampering with right now. If you just give me a second, there's something clearly magical going on. You just spew an array of frost in there, and you're just wanting to dive in.
Right.
God, people are so thick-skulled.
We just need to not disturb this place.
Well, to be fair, I wanted to jump in until I realized what it actually was that she wanted, and now she wants me to drink it, and I don't want to drink it.
She?
Yeah.
Voice in my head.
Fearn's like seeing her spit out the sand, and he's kind of just like chapping his lips. He's like, I'm kind of parched too.
No, I don't think you should drink it.
Here, well,
actually,
why
can
not?
you do it? Can you do it?
If you're gonna drink it,
no. Can you?
Why can't I?
If you're gonna drink it, please let me see what this is for exactly before you do it. Except detect magic on the water.
Fearn, drink from my water skin.
All right, I do that.
Does he get sand?
Slow down, everybody. First of all, I'm going to resolve this very slowly for what's happening very quickly. Septimus casts Detect Magic on the vial while you're holding it like this. You hand the water skin over.
Water skin to Fearn.
Fearn, you drink the water skin. It's water. It's just water for you. Septimus, you do detect that this water is enchanted. It is there's sort of this residue of magic within the water itself that is somewhat like the best. I'm trying to think of what school of magic you would really be. I'd say evocation. You get a sense of evocation magic that comes from this, mingled with a little bit of divination.
Okay.
It is And you can see that in the water itself. Like, you see it in the vial, but also in the water around you. And you can see latent divination on the altar. Because what's the radius on detect magic? 30? Yeah, so you can see the altar also is magical. And it almost seems like, from just this visual, that this water is almost divine magic tea. Like, this altar has, like, seeped its magic into these waters.
Mhm.
The altar is the source of the magic, but it's seeped into the waters surrounding it.
Gotcha.
Jacquet, how long did you want to spend with Syndill alone? Because it's been like 15 minutes, I'll say, at least, since you first got here.
Cut back, and Jacquet's taking out his dice and go, "You want to play?"
I don't play games.
It's less games and more chance. Take a chance on me.
Can I go into the temple now? Are we done talking?
Fine. And Jacquet will let her go up.
And she walks into the temple, and you can follow if you wish.
Yeah.
Your friends are gone.
That seems about right. Is there more to this place?
She just kind of points over at the opening, the 15-foot tall doorway that leads into the chamber.
That we can probably see Septimus's light coming out of, and maybe the sound of their voices.
I'd say you absolutely, when you step out, you hear the last scrap that they all just had. You could hear, them all, like, sort of shouting at each other, like, you drink this! No, let me test this! You drink this! And you just hear Bruce's voice be like, "They're supposed to be hiding, guys." And this brings us all back.
Just do what I say.
To the same timeline. So,
yes, it is absolutely magic imbued. There's some evocation, but divination more than anything else.
I wonder if she wants it.
So, it'll hurt, but it'll make me see things? Is that what I'm getting?
You're not drinking it.
Wait. What's this about drinking water? Okay.
Thank
I thought that we were clear.
Jacquet,
We're
thank
here
God.
to deal with Captain Hastings. All right? It was very clear that this is a dangerous place. There are creatures that live in here. Sentient creatures that could at any time come out and cause trouble for us.
I am well aware of that. Tell it to this one who wants to go jump into the water and start drinking it.
Sass,
Want to
what
jump-
is going on?
Nothing. Nothing.
All right.
Okay.
I put a stopper on the vial and I put it away.
I pour the rest of the water out of the horn and just, like, basically pour it back into the pool behind me.
Mm-hmm. No problem.
Gods, I leave you all alone for 5-10 minutes. This is what happens?
Found a good hiding spot.
Oh, fantastic, Bruce. Fan-fucking-tastic.
We
And the rest of
scouted.
you?
We scouted. There weren't any more traps or anything living, but I found some evidence of some other creatures, probably big crabs, that could be crawling around here.
Turning to Syndill, Jacquet goes, "Big crabs, are those the other denizens that you spoke of?"
Yes, that sounds about right. I've never seen them myself, but the Karkanos are a very interesting folk, from what I understand.
Hearing that name, would I know what that is?
Give
Or
me
any of us, I guess.
If anyone proficient in nature?
Nope.
What a waste of a proficiency. Nature. I'm a jack of all trades in nature.
You can give me a roll. It's just going to be a much higher DC.
That's fair.
But if no one's
That's a
proficient in
17.
nature, then I will say Jacquet, you have never heard of these creatures, but you can.
I've never
pretend.
heard of them, so it sounds like bullshit to me.
Yeah, I mean, Septimus, the best you know is really just like that.
I was just curious if it was just like
Yeah.
a common thing. That's so no, then that's no. Okay. Yes, there's still very much life and movement in this cavern. We should be wary.
It's as you say that you all hear just the water tremble, and you can see a rock that you were looking at just sort of pushes up out of the water, and you can now see more clearly. It is what you thought was an algae-covered rock is a algae-covered shell. As you see a large, well, it's a medium creature, but large in the sense of how you normally would see a hermit crab.
Oh,
Mud crabs.
What is that? I can't see it from here.
Oh, you've got to be fucking kidding me.
Oh, is that the?
Doesn't seem to be doing anything though.
The cow is that the Calcaros or whatever they were called?
The Carcanos.
Carcanos? Is that a Carcanos?
No. Carcanos are more humanoid-like. This must be one of their pets.
Okay, everybody, let's just exit this chamber nice and quietly.
All right.
You can see the crab is just the hermit crab. You can see now as it's like above the water line. You can watch it just picking leeches out of the muck and eating them.
Oh, look, it's trying to help.
No, it's living. It's not helping. It's living, and it might alert someone. So, again, please, for the love of the gods, let's just exit this chamber. We do not need to be in here.
Okay.
Yeah,
I thought this is where they usually meet.
This
No.
is usually where we meet.
Shit.
Oh,
Yeah, that's why we came in here. That's why I came here to begin with, was to see.
But usually we don't have people rushing around dipping horns into the water and shooting
okay.
stuff.
Let's all leave for now. And in maybe 10 minutes, we come back in and hope things have settled down. We still have some time.
I don't know if we have that much time left. We kind of burned a lot.
Well, we came early, so there is time.
Right.
Oh, okay.
And anyways, I think...
over an hour left until sunrise.
Well,
So,
Oh, we got here.
I
Very
have a
fast.
question. I have an idea, if that's okay. They're gonna be arriving by ship, right?
Most likely.
So, do they normally disembark? Or does just one person come out?
In my experience, it's only been one person who has met me up here. I've never seen the ship. I don't go and look out the cave. I don't
The
usually.
ship's already here.
Well, I know, but you got the ship out there and take a boat because it's too treacherous.
Right.
Aren't you a pirate?
Yeah, they would have to bring some sort of dinghy or schooner or something.
Well, you
Oh,
said the ship
fancy
wasn't
talk.
here. The ship's here.
I was in one. It was
yes,
fun.
I'm a pirate.
I rowed very well.
Well, I don't look off the edge because I let them leave first, or I leave first, and we just do our business.
All I'm saying is, if we get a hold of their, only means of escape, then we have an advantage. So it might be good to set up or try and find a hiding place near the water, so when they go in, we can, get a hold of that.
I thought you just wanted information. Are you trying to kill
Yeah,
him?
I thought we just wanted information
No.
too.
No, I want information as much as you two. I don't want to kill him. I'm just saying that if he decides to do anything, drastic, we want to make sure that we have the advantage tactically.
Or in case someone that's supposed to be, playing it cool decides to give us up, Jacquet says, staring at Syndill.
I haven't done
Right.
nothing but follow our arrangement.
Of course. And I think you will continue to follow it. But I would be a fool if I completely 100% trusted you.
I mean, this one seems trustworthy enough. She helped us past the things, and everything she cares about is on the line, so I think the people we need to not trust are the ones she's dealing
shit.
with, these
Yes.
pirates.
Yes, we get that. It's not... Okay.
Okay.
So here's the thing. So they're gonna meet in here, right? If anything, we should wait right outside and keep him trapped in here.
The problem
Well,
is
let's-
we need...
Nope,
We need-
that's a good idea. I like that idea.
we need to move and let the room reset itself as we.
How do we
discussed.
trap him
That's
in
the
here?
first-
That's the real question.
Let's talk outside.
Yes, thank you. And Jacquet's going to usher everyone, literally
And
putting hands on people's backs to push them out of this room.
And yeah, Jacquet, as you do that, you look back, you just see this big hermit crab just a steady stream of leeches into its mouth, and it's just sort of like crawling around it. It doesn't seem like it's hostile in its current state. But you all gather outside to discuss your plan, and that is where we're going to take a break and come back, finalize our plan, and see what happens. All right, folks, we'll be back in 5 minutes, so stick around. We're just going to grab, a drink, use the restroom, whatever we need, and continue in a moment. So see y'all soon.
Bye.
Welcome back, everybody, to Adrift in Aldhalor. I always hesitate to call you guys heroes. Our companions here,
Adventurers.
Our adventurers. Thank you. That's better. Yeah, our adventurers have made their way through all the traps that Syndill guided them through, and they have now arrived in the old temple where they await the Captain Hastings. They have experienced some oddities, though, within the first 15 minutes of being here, as Sass has been experiencing some deep hallucinations, and nearly drank the magic water, as all adventurers nearly do, and Fearn shot some rays of frost into the water. All this disturbance did awaken one of the beasties, as a giant hermit crab, let's see what they're actually called, has awoken. Scuttler crab, a giant scuttler crab, has awoken and started eating and not really doing anything, so didn't feel too threatened, but they wanted to let the room reset itself by going back outside to start discussing what they plan to do next. So, you are all gathered out there. Syndill is with you. Go ahead and discuss your plan. I think the last thing you discussed was having part of the party wait outside in order to block the exit when Syndill is in the chamber. Or when Hastings is in the chamber.
Right, so I think Fear and Septimus, you might be best for this role, to block Hastings should he try to exit this way. Bruce and Sass, I think you'd probably be better inside the chamber. You can see a lot better in the dark, and I mean, Bruce, you're so small, you can hide pretty well, and Sass, I don't know if you could do that invisibility thing again. It might be helpful.
That sounds like a fucking great plan.
Wait, you can go invisible?
Yeah, I've already done it once.
Oh, I didn't.
Didn't you see
that makes
her?
sense. Oh,
Jacquet laughs at his own joke. You're muted.
You muted.
Oh, gracious DM.
Syndill, as Jacquet laughs at his own joke, Syndill kind of looks to the rest of you and go, this man is your leader?
No, he's not a leader. He just talks the most.
Yeah,
It's
I
true.
usually
And come
let
up with the
him
best
ramble with
plans.
his... Usually, we edit his plans. He's good at talking.
He's a good strategizer.
And where will you hide? As she looks to Jacquet.
Ah, right in front of Hastings, which brings me to my next point of business. Syndill, I think we're all set.
Pardon?
You've upheld your end of the bargain. Now we'll uphold our end.
Up it.
Who has her shit?
I point towards. Yep.
I left it there.
Oh,
You left it where?
Left it at the house?
Yeah, it's upstairs on the workbench.
Oh.
Septimus, do you have anything of hers?
I do. Yes, I actually do. Here's your bag with all the contents within it.
He looks in. So, the potions and the device are back in the workshop.
I just took a look at them. I did take your
No, you took the
grab.
You did take the potions and the thing. Oh, God! I was actually Mike. That was Mike talking.
That was Mike talking, right? Not Septimus? 'Cause
Yeah.
That would be
I'm glad you said it out
hilarious
loud
if
because I
Septimus-
wasn't sure, but now I am sure.
Give me a deception check.
Come on, Brucey.
16.
All right, I'll roll her
Sneaky bastard.
insight.
Oh boy.
I assumed that I was going to be able to see my belongings before leaving to ensure I had them.
Well, could you carry all your stuff up the elevator shaft or whatever shaft we dropped down anyway?
I am supposed to meet with Hastings.
Oh, don't worry. He will think that you're meeting with him.
I need him.
For what? What do you need him for?
I need him. It's the... And she starts to get a little flustered at this point. And she starts kind of cursing under her breath. Fucking pirates.
What do you need him for? Does he have something of yours? We just want to help.
Well,
Shut up.
Give me a persuasion roll.
Come on. I sucked at these last week.
It's because you kept rolling below a 5.
Yay! I rolled a 22.
Ooh. Okay, that's very good. She looks at you.
17.
Well, you gotta you gotta start rolling higher than your floor.
Yeah.
Chocolate.
Sorry.
She does look at you, Sass, and you can tell with that persuasion roll, and I'll say there's sort of a passive insight that comes with it, that like the way you treated her with respect upstairs did have an effect where she trusts you, it seems, where she doesn't really trust the rest of the group as much as she can really trust.
Sure.
You know, she's not perfect.
Oh,
Sorry.
Mike.
You're good. So she trusts you, but you know, only as much as she can trust a stranger who claims to be a pirate.
Sure.
More so she doesn't think you're going to hurt her or betray her or lie to her in this moment.
Sure.
Which is saying a lot for Syndill, given the way you've all interacted with her and seen that she's untrustworthy or doesn't trust easily. And she looks at you as you say, "We're here to help." And some of that frustration goes away, but she just sort of melts a little bit and just looks at you and says, Hastings has arrived. No. You just hear, she just
That was the squeakiest boat I ever heard.
You will not understand. None of you.
Try us.
I mean, come on. We have brains.
You may have brains, but you're young. Your whole lives ahead of you.
Try us.
Hastings is promised a life worth living. He's promised greatness, and he believes in my work. No one else does.
Wait, let me get this straight. He believes in weapons that do a massive amount of damage and kill people.
That is just what I do to help his movement.
So your movement is to kill more people?
No.
That sounds like a cult.
You're
What
not
else are you
being
being
very
driven to do?
open. Although I don't see how... No, I mean, I was talking to him,
sorry.
Bruce. He's not being very open, but I don't see how capturing elementals and using them for your own, good, like forcing them, is a good thing in any sense.
What I've done has caused death, yes. But without me, there would be more death. Without my contraptions, as you can see this new one, there would be more depth. This is not some fracturing storm elemental. This is not some fire elemental being shot from a gun. This is less lethal, disabling. Without me, Hastings will kill more. And with me, he can give me a new life. A life worth living. And I can help in what comes after. I can help. I can make something of my life.
Killing, exactly. The lesser of the people, not the more people.
What does it matter? The truth is, you're trading. What you're saying is you're the lesser evil, and as long as you keep creating things for this pirate, he'll be dealing less damage. But if he's capable of doing those larger things that you're speaking of, it's never going to stop. He's going to keep going until he gets the result he wants, whether it's using your methods or otherwise. And then what will you do when you're allied with somebody who's gone way overboard? Do you
the machinations
truly trust him?
of Kiranor are far worse than anything that I have done. And their empire will spread, and you will come for you all. Eventually, they will come for the Aldhalor Islands. You think that these deals that Saipajan has made with them are going to last. They will not stand for piracy. They will not stand for people to not assimilate to their way of life. You farmers with your elemental religion, your faith and spirits, Kiranor will crush all of that in time. Sure, they can build fancy sky ships in the capital. They can bring Gwenvaleri over with money and flood our place with those looking to exploit these lands.
You say that...
I shouldn't have trusted you at all. You clearly do not understand. And you don't understand the desire for a new life, something greater than being stuck, cramped in a small chamber with your colleagues ignoring your work, denigrating you.
I understand once in a new life. More than you think. And stop me if this is wrong, DM, what I'm about to say next, but... Whatever Hastings promised you, he was probably lying. As he promised me the same thing. And look where I am.
Give me a persuasion roll.
Sean, just so I don't make a dingus of myself.
Sure.
Nice one. But if he's basically going against the elements and is like pro Kirinor, or she thinks that he's pro Kirinor, wouldn't finding
anti-Kirinor.
He's anti-Kirinor.
Mm-hmm.
But who has the airships then? Like
Kirinor has the airships.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, all the airships are owned by Kirinor, or well, really owned by the houses of Kirinor, which are aristocrats. It seems you can. There's a few things I'll say that you don't need any insight checks to get from this. This is clearly a woman who's lived her entire life being looked past, ignored for opportunities, treated badly by her colleagues, who had found someone who showed a minuscule amount of support for her desires, and she's come to the end of her life and has lived very little and has seen an opportunity to find a better life, and it's all unraveling before her right now.
Look, I've seen your work. I mean, if we just get through this, we get out of this, I'll call this a rut, these dealings with this creepy man, who I haven't even met yet, but there's a lot of stories going around. But anyway, you can live a pretty normal life making what you make right now. Artificing. I mean, reverse engineered your work. It's quite brilliant. And you can make an honest living off of that.
Sass, what was your persuasion roll?
It's a natural 20. Or
Oh.
24.
Okay. And I'll say kind of like supporting that is Bruce saying like there's ways essentially to live a better life without resorting to this. I suppose I should have stayed in the lab.
All right, so in that case, why don't we go behind this rock over here and let Jack do his little magic trick with his words.
While this has all been going on, and Syndill has been expressing all this kind of fighting against the big guy,
Mm-hmm.
this empire taking over, and assimilation and all that. You see Jacquette's kind of been off to the side a little, thinking. And at the mention of allowing Jacket to do his thing, he looks up and he goes, I get it. I get it. Yes.
What do you get?
This is it.
This is what? Now I understand what I sound like.
It's what I've been looking for. Yes, it's perfect. Take down the Kirinor Empire? Oh, that's the perfect thing to make my name. No. I think we pivot.
The fuck are you talking about?
I'm talking about joining Hastings.
What?
I know. I was pissed off at him, but can you imagine if we were a part of taking down one of the greatest empires, the most technologically advanced empire? Who, by the way, aren't that great. I mean, they're fine and good, they bring technology and whatever, but, it sounds like they misuse the elements, which Fear and you don't like, and Bruce, you don't seem to really enjoy either.
Hastings is misusing the elements.
Yeah, but his, means justifies the ends, right? It's fine.
And if
Ian
anything,
just scowls at that. He's not buying it.
Wait, so you're suggesting undercover?
Undercover?
Work.
No, I'm saying that we join,
No.
right? But
No.
you're a member of his crew. What are you talking about?
I was a member when I thought I was just part of a pirate ship.
Sure.
Not part
Okay.
of anything bigger.
Don't you want to be?
I don't know.
Oh, come on, Sass. I've seen you. You want to be part of something. You want to leave your mark on this world, don't you? I mean, maybe his methods aren't the best. And that's how we can, come in and curtail that,
That is what I thought.
And if push comes to shove, we just kill him and take over, right? How hard could that be?
Well,
It won't be that easy to kill this man.
Oh, then why not?
It's very crafty. Very strong.
Have you met me? I'm a crafty son of a bitch, and Furin's very strong.
if he wasn't afraid of me, then he would have showed his face on the pirate ship.
No, I think...
That he doesn't show his face on the pirate ship a lot.
Right,
It's
I
not
think
so
that has
much.
less to do with you and more to do with...
But you can think that
he's
if you
too
want.
important. Whatever you think.
Why don't we get through this meeting and see what the fuck even looks like, because we don't know that. And then we decide if we're going to make our mark on the world.
Well, I think it's important if we discuss our plans, because it depends on Syndill here, If we're gonna join him, we might want to keep her around to speak in our favor.
This is all way so much. You're talking about taking down an entire empire.
What?
What?
Could I get like some background? Like, what do I know about Kirinor from my travels?
Yeah, absolutely. So, what you would probably know, Kirinor trades with your people. Specifically looking, your people have made your people have changed their lives dramatically from trading with Kirinor, because they'll buy anything that you show them. Basically, they particularly like esoteric items from the northern continent or the northern islands. So your people find random shit basically in the snow and the caves and the mountains, and if it has anything even hinting that it's esoteric, magical, or from an ancient civilization, Kirinor buys it off of you outright. So they're a significant trading partner of your the northern tribes.
And just quickly, why do we establish that Hastings is against them exactly?
Based on the way that she's talking, saying she's implying that Hastings' long-term goals is to remove the convergency from rulership in Kirinor. This is also based on the fact that he was affiliated with the Alumno Defiance, which is the rebellion that's trying to take down the convergency.
Right.
So Syndill, are you do you believe in the convergency, or do you just not like Kirinor?
I don't like when the few control everything. I understand that Hastings at one time was a monarchist, but there's a reason he doesn't work with the Alumno Defiance anymore. Or I should say, the original Alumno Defiance. I believe in technological advancements. As you can see, I am an artificer myself. I am a naturalist studying the world. I don't like it when it is barricaded, held in bondage. And I know that is hypocritical coming from me. But I don't know. I've come a long way from the labs. I've got me all mixed up. Don't know.
I've seen you work. Yeah, what were we gonna say?
I was just going to say real quick before you it seems like your discussions of the good and bad and the morality of all of this have mucked her head up a little bit as she's, you know, you can tell she was facing the last decades of her life and feels unaccomplished. Yeah. And that was a big motivator for her in this.
I've seen your work. What makes you feel like Hastings' final goal will bring about a life of technological achievement?
In the current structure of things, I'm nobody.
Well,
I spent most of my life in a lab. Small little specimens in the gardens. It was quaint, and truthfully, I enjoyed much of it. When my work was looked over, my colleagues didn't think highly of me. And investment in my work was closed down, barricaded off, for more profitable ventures for the university and academy.
Such as elemental study.
Yes. And perhaps I should have stayed with my little creatures. I think I'll go as you wish.
I think that would be the safest thing for you.
I want to say quietly to Bruce, just Bruce, so she doesn't hear. You should give her stuff back. I know you don't want to, but I think she needs it more than we do.
The truth is, I think it's too much to carry.
Fear is talking over them and says, well, we're a group. It's only fair that we put this decision to a vote. I, for one, say I don't approve of Hastings' methods in the past, from what we've seen, but he also wasn't on the boat when they left us, so perhaps he wasn't to be blamed for that specific thing. Although I do find him responsible for the airship debacle. If Gloveless thinks that it's the right play, I'll back him for now. And I raise my hand. All for yay. For planning to try and treaty with Hastings.
I mean, what else have we got going on? I mean, yeah, we've got Sigil, but, you know, he would probably support...
Hold on.
Sigil.
So, we're totally scrapping the whole idea of even becoming Sigil.
Well, I want to get...
And having a decoy trap in first place. So, this is... He's not going to get what he wants. He's going to be really pissed.
Did you want to kill the guy?
No! God damn it. We're going to give him an explosive. Or something, a very dangerous device. And yeah, we could give him... It explodes into a lot of water, all right? Either way, he's not going to be happy that he's not getting the device. And then he's being... Or, you know... Sigil over here is being replaced by some cat.
Syndill.
Sorry. I don't think it's worth trying. I think giving him the decoy and finding out more information and then approaching him further might be the best play.
Is Syndill still here or has she left?
She's kind of gathering her stuff up. She's she's stepped away from you all, though. Like, you're talking alone. Like, she's, maybe like 10 feet away, just sort of, like, it's almost like that, she's, like, she almost
she's
looks
waiting
frail
to see
again.
if she's actually free to go.
Yeah, exactly. Basically, yeah. She's waiting to make sure that if she walks away, you're not going to come after her or something. She's waiting for your final say, since you guys are kind of discussing the whole thing. She's sort of, and she's a little disassociative right now in the way that she's kind of like staring and like really just kind of like biting her fingernails, and like you've really unraveled her quite a bit.
Whoopsies.
Yeah.
Sean, what are the lights doing? Are they still there?
Oh yeah, and you're still thirsty as fuck.
Syndill, one last question for you. I know you're across the room right now. If Captain Hastings, if he doesn't get what he wants, is he going to come after you?
I suppose it's what you tell him. If you're going to masquerade as me, give him a fake, then he'll probably come after me. She doesn't know that. If you masquerade as me and he doesn't get he'll probably try to kill you. If you're me.
All right. Captain Hastings is not somebody I want to align with in that case.
I have to say myself too. I mean, I had no beef with him before, and although I want to learn as much as I can about the artificing and technology, I can't go on knowingly hurting innocent people potentially.
Right.
I'm not trying to hurt innocent people. I think what we want to do is
if we try to parlay with him, we're going to be giving him this device, and he's ultimately going to use it to kill, to drown.
We can still give him the fake one.
Yeah, then we wouldn't be in his favor for very long, would we?
Right.
Well, it might be just enough to learn something more than if we were just making a deal with him.
Right, but then also, if...
I just saw the chance to fight for something. If you're not all in the cause, I guess I can understand that. It's a little radical, sure. All I'm saying is that there is a chance for glory here. And I know little to nothing about the Kierno Empire. But when I see a big guy bossing around a little guy, the rich stomping on the poor, I don't know, there's just something about it that makes me want to stand up.
I'm sorry, the rich stomping on the poor.
Yes.
That's rich coming from you. Pun not intended. No.
Yes,
Pun was
rich
not intended.
because
No.
I'm rich.
No.
I don't know. Just something romantic about it,
I'll say one last thing. Rarely do you find a truly just cause as an adventurer. Somebody's always got their own agenda at hand. This is a risk, sure. But if we were going to go for it, there is opportunity. I stand by my vote. Everyone for nay, and I don't raise my hand.
Septimus will kind of look to Bruce. And then slowly put up his hand.
Fuck.
Daybreak.
Yeah.
How dramatic.
What do you think? Talking to my necklace.
All right, I'm all for you going out and doing reckless things with your magical sea talk, but I don't think the sea has anything to say with this matter.
You don't know that? Give it a second.
You all stare at her as she's playing with this amulet and looking around, looking about. In Sass, you would get an answer.
Oh no. Fear's tapping his foot. He's like not expecting this to happen.
And then, as soon as she starts talking, I'll go, shh.
We have no need for petty politics of these squabbling,
That's what I thought.
infighting miscreants.
So what do I vote? No?
No.
Right.
Drink the water.
I don't want to drink
Drink the water.
I don't want to
Drink the water.
I don't. Why?
Cut your
You
friend's
don't want
eye out.
what?
What?
Cut your friend's eye out, the magic one. And
What?
drink the water.
No.
Drink
No, you vote
the
no?
water.
No, shh. Not yet. Hold on, she's still talking. I don't want the water. What do you want the water for?
Drink it.
Why? Give me a reason. Give me a reason and I'll drink it.
The voice is gone.
Fuck.
Oh no.
I would just like to say that I think she is insane, and her vote shouldn't count.
My vote is no, and I down the water.
No.
she says
Oh,
no,
geez,
and
she's
takes
in
a
the
shot. You feel a surge of energy. You feel awake. You feel alive. You feel like lightning is in your veins. For the next 24 hours, you have +1 to your spellcasting modifier for
yeah.
attack and your
Ooh.
saves. Essentially, as if you had a +1 item that would give you that modifier just for the next 24 hours.
Okay.
And you feel the tether between you and that fountain, or the font, increase and be stronger. And you can now feel that connection to that water there. Yeah, that's it.
I feel fucking great. Let's go. Let's go in.
In.
Just in. You know when you've had a really good night's sleep?
I agree. Let's not count her vote.
I am sleep deprived right now, so I don't know what that feels like.
That's true. You all should probably be making saving throws against exhaustion by this point, since you haven't slept. But you get to take a short rest. But yeah, no, you feel it feels nothing but good at this point. You feel like that tether that you feel is not a chain, it's a current, and the energy is flowing to you from the fountain.
Do I feel like if I drank more, it would increase?
Uncertain. And it's not really like the flow is not going really into you, it's going into your amulet. Is you might be able to surmise that she is draining the magic of this fountain.
Ah. Whoops.
Why?
I feel like we could take on Hastings right now. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's put an end to it, and let's start our own empire. Yeah.
How about we just
I don't know
get
what
enough money to live peacefully?
That sounds nice. It sounds really nice right now.
Maybe we just. Maybe at this point we just leave it alone. She doesn't seem
And
to care to
walk
get
away.
revenge on Hastings.
Just walk
Well,
away.
we just walk away
Doesn't
right
really
You
now.
guys just want to go home?
And just walk away from all
You
of
wanna
this?
just
You
walk
okay to
from this?
join the man we came here to beat up? She's on some sort of magic crack.
Look, I'm
I
not
don't know
leaving
what you're
here
talking
without some money. We went through too much crap already. Let's find this Hastings guy, kick his butt, and let's go home. Votes
Okay,
decided.
Fine. I'm gonna go hide in this corner then.
All right.
Me too.
Gotta go behind the rock. Hey, here's the decoys. Check it. Decide what you want to do with it.
Wait, did you give them both the decoy
So
and the real one?
No, just the decoy.
Okay.
So, should I still leave?
Oh, no. Come over here. Oh, no, you could leave if you want. Sorry, I don't know what's going on.
I think you're good to go. I think we've got stuff.
Also,
we've got it under control.
Here's my business card if you ever need to get in contact with us.
She takes it and she's just like, "Who the fuck are you people?"
Just write your name on there, and I'll receive a message, and we can chat for a second, and I can meet you somewhere. If you ever need help in, making an honest living, that is. So, good luck.
Fuck. Okay, and she leaves. She does. She 100% leaves. She's definitely like looks very different from when she was leading you through that confidence that she had. Well, she never really had that much confidence. She was pretty pessimistic the whole time. But the pessimism has almost shifted to depression as she sort of wanders into the dark and leaves you all here. And you have some time until Hastings is supposed to be arriving.
So Bruce and I are on the inside, right? That was the plan. We're on the inside, and Septimus and Fionn are on the outside, and you're going on the inside too.
Jacques backs up a little and turns to Fionn and Septimus and goes, "I'm feeling very alarmed about our plan now. I don't know what's wrong with her."
Nothing's wrong. I feel great.
I feel like I set off a series of events that I am now regretting. I kind of just want to give Hastings the decoy and maybe sleep on this, reevaluate my life.
You're gonna walk away right now? We're at the peak of it. You wanted to go in and take over a whole empire.
Okay, two things. One, I wanted to take down the Empire. I want to make that very clear.
Okay, you wanted to
History
take down
remembers
an
the good
empire.
guy.
Where did that energy go? Where did it go?
I feel like you leached
Where
it
is
from
it?
all of us. And also, you technically voted no. So unless you're changing your vote, in which case we are all agreeing.
I voted no on joining with him. I'm voting yes on creating our own.
Wait. Are we creating one, or are we destroying one,
I think
or are we joining one?
all of that. I think we go in there. We go. I can't. I'm trying so hard. I think we go in there. We tell him his time is over, and it's our time now. Yeah.
Okay. And then what? Because working
And then it
with
just
him,
happens. It just happens.
that's not actually okay. Okay, I see what's happening here. You have delusions of grandeur. Trust me, I've been there before. It feels like it's a really good high, but the lows are not as good.
No. This is great. I'm gonna go inside. I'm invisible, and I walk inside.
Okay.
Sass, how long does invisibility last?
I think it's an hour.
Okay, then okay. I was about to say, if
Yeah,
it's only
an hour.
like 10 minutes. Then
No, it's an
you're
hour.
gonna be
No, it's an
uninvisible
hour.
by the time Hastings gets here.
No, it's an hour.
All right, then you'll still be invisible when he gets
And
here.
as long as I'm concentrating on it.
Yes.
And as long as he doesn't run late.
That too, yeah. Could you imagine that you go through all of this planning, and then there's just sort of a little bird flies in with a note that says, bad storm, can't make it.
You should have just done that. That would have been hilarious.
Maybe I'll just throw these notes out. All right, so you all just see Sass turn invisible and rush inside, or you presume rush inside.
And you hear a little as she goes
You hear
inside.
Goblin giggle. as she runs inside.
I hope she doesn't drink any more of that water.
There's
I
a
feel
good
like-
chance she will.
Yeah.
Do I feel like I need to drink more of the water or no?
No,
I
you
think
don't feel
I
thirsty.
asked you that. I asked you that already.
Part of me thinks I should have just let her jump in and get eaten by leeches.
It might
I
have
mean, she
solved some
hasn't
of our
ruined
problems.
anything yet, guys. You have a little faith.
A little faith. She's talking to herself, drinking water. I mean, I don't really know what exactly is going on, but
When you make
Does-
deals with the spirits, sometimes they take a few things away from you. You know,
Like
in
sanity?
trade.
Yeah, it doesn't seem very worth it.
Well, it's not for everyone, that's for sure. But some people can, you know, deal with it, manage. It could get tough at sometimes, but we've got to be supportive.
well, it
All right,
gets
I'm
in the
gonna
way
go.
of our business plans. That's a problem.
Behind
Well,
this
I
rock.
think she's down on the plan. As long as she doesn't preemptively do anything, I think we'll be okay.
I want to make something clear. I plan to just get information and let Hastings go.
Right.
I'm
Killing
fine with
him
that.
is going to put us another target on ourselves, and we haven't even dealt with the target from the Otter business.
Agreed.
Okay.
I forgot
Yes.
where the widow's words. Oh, boy.
I wholeheartedly agree with that.
So, unless we end up just skipping town and ruining all the work the gods have done to make this a living, vibrant place, I think we take things one step at a time. Working with Hastings, I still stand by a good idea. But at the risk of Sass doing something outrageous and going against your two wishes, I'm trying to consider your feelings as your leader. So,
Well,
Oh,
Right, and
Fear
Jacques almost
furrows
looks
his
at-
eyes again. That
Yeah,
was
Jacques
that
looks
was
over at,
one
like,
bad
Fear and,
bet,
like-
and it was just until we got to shore.
well, I mean,
no,
you know,
getting information is the best course of action going forward. And who's to say, maybe something that you learn or we learn in this encounter may just change my mind.
Also, by the way, whatever we decide to do, if we're playing as Syndill in the first place, she's gonna have a target on her back.
yes,
Yeah, why did
I'm-
you lie to her?
We needed to get past the traps.
Look,
No,
I think I have an idea for keeping Syndill safe, and we can
No,
cross that
he-
bridge, haha, when we get
No, he means because he kept her stuff. All her potions and stuff are still in his bag of holding. He lied.
Well, I
She's-
approve of
she's
that.
gonna-
we don't
she's
want
gonna
her to
want-
have that
she's
weapon.
gonna she's gonna hate us and put something. We have a target on our back from her now.
She's got my contact information if she really needs her tools back.
Yeah.
And I'll-
Yeah, I don't approve of giving your card out to everyone we meet. That's kind of just a bad run, Bruce. We're gonna be making enemies. That's kind of just a part of this.
Well,
Lifestyle.
like I said, I can't just drop 100 pounds of metal and shit on her lap and say, "Oh yeah, good luck climbing that chain in the elevator shaft or
You
whatever."
didn't have to lie to her either.
I didn't. No, I didn't. But I didn't want to give her explosive back when she was hostile back there either.
All right. I'm gonna go behind this pillar over here, and I'm just gonna try and breathe very slowly and relax, and wake me up if anything bad happens.
I think that was the alarm
Okay.
that set off.
So,
Yeah.
Bruce is going to hide behind some rocks inside. Septimus
Damn
and,
right.
and Fearn are going to be hiding in the antechamber, concealing themselves behind some of the pillars. And Jacquette, you are still going to masquerade as Syndill. Okay. I'm going to put y'all down in some places on the map.
I don't have anything to cover my thing.
I just did it because I'm invisible.
Oh.
Oh, I thought you went to go do something.
Oh, no, I'm here. No, I'm here. I also wasn't part of that conversation. I realized at the end of the conversation that I should
I
have.
just make this like a hat for me.
Ooh, that's a nice hat.
Thank you.
Where'd you get that hat?
You're like a light bulb. It's great.
Oh, look at this guy. He's got some smart ideas. Okay. So, so Bruce and Sass will be able to hear the conversation. Once he enters into the cave, Septimus and Fearn, as long as there's no one else there, you can probably reposition yourselves at the entrance so you can listen in.
So Sean,
Mhm.
I'm gonna preface this with, I'm hiding and I'm trying not to move because I know I have heavy armor on and I don't want to give away our position.
Okay.
But I am going to take out my magical eye and I'm gonna position it like a camera so I could see them as they come in.
Okay, I like that. So yeah, so you can would you just rest it on a rock so it can see the room?
Yeah, in a shadowy corner or something.
Mhm.
I just prop it up on
Yeah,
a rock.
I love that. I think that's hilarious. I love the idea too of you having to manage that so you can function. Where you're you have to keep one eye closed and walk around and then close it again to look into the other room. There's something funny about that. Because I imagine if you just had both eyes open, it would be an absolute shit show.
Yeah, I would get very dizzy.
Okay, yeah, no, you could definitely do that. Okay.
And I obviously turn my light off,
Yes.
and I'm just hiding behind a pillar, just kind of sitting on my knees, sitting on my own legs, just kind of listening because I can't see a damn thing in this darkness.
Yeah. All right, so I need everyone hiding to give me stealth checks. Sass, you have advantage because you're invisible.
Oh, and just to specify, the eye is going in the room with everyone.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Outside of it, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Fearn, I'll also allow you to do this not at disadvantage because it's a preemptive hide as opposed to you sneaking around in the armor.
Thank you.
Sean,
Yeah.
can I cast Silent Image on myself as just a pile of rocks?
I will absolutely allow that and give you advantage on the stealth check.
Thank you.
Shit.
It is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is, I guess. Make character.
No.
Can I get everyone's stealth checks?
I got a
Septimus?
12.
Okay.
I got a 9.
Okay. Bruce?
I accidentally cast Bonfire.
7.
Sass?
Dirty 20. The fuck are you all doing?
Looks like we're joining him.
Oh, fuck.
Okay. Okay. So, you all would hear him first, as you would hear the footsteps coming up the side of the cliff.
What about the alarm?
And as soon as he comes up the cliff and steps into the cave,
Okay.
the alarm would go off.
Sorry.
In Bruce, I'm assuming your alarm was just in your head, as opposed to the one that makes a
Yeah.
noise. So Bruce, you hear the alarm trigger, and you can whisper to everyone that he's here.
Yeah,
Obviously,
I do a little,
the other two
little
won't hear
message.
you. Oh yeah, perfect.
Little bloop, 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 bloop.
Disguise self.
Excellent. Okay. So, Septimus, the antechamber you're in, you can actually start to see a little bit more now because it's dawn, so the sun is rising. So there's the room is now dimly lit as opposed to completely dark. And Fearn, imagine you're just watching the other room, right? You're not trying to watch anything in this room.
Yeah, I'm not peeking or anything like that. I'm just sitting quietly in like my hiding spot.
Okay. All right, so Septimus, you're the first one to see Captain Hastings. So you see a very tall man. He's probably not as tall as Fearn, but pretty close. He has a lot of armor on. He has half plate armor. He has a light blue scarf tucked into his armor, and a half cloak that falls over his shoulders. That is sort of a black with some red lining on the inside. He has a tunic over his armor. That's kind of a pretty flowy tunic so that it can hold the armor underneath that is red. And generally, like, all of his clothes are fairly flowy in order to fit the armor on underneath. But also somewhat conceal it if he needs to. So he looks rather bulky. When you see his face, it is a dark green color, his skin. Sort of a forest green. With these gold amber eyes that they're not like shining, glowing, or like magically like illuminated. They just sort of have a very light hint of a glow on them, almost as if there's a flashlight reflecting off of them. He has... So, he's an earth genasi. That's what you can tell from the dark green skin, and then this growth of crystal instead of hair. And basically he has this crystal matches his eyes in that gold amber color, and it grows in a small cluster from his chin all the way up. It grows into bigger and bigger crystal up the side of his head until it joins in with this cluster on his head where hair would be, almost creating like a plate effect, like a animal's like skull plate, like a triceratops skull plate, but it's on the side of his head going up, flaring out into a larger crystal structure. So consequently, he does not wear a pirate hat. But he has the air of a captain for sure. He stands tall, walks authoritatively. He has
like that captain vibe.
That's what I was about to say. You understand the vibe that Sass said she could probably tell.
I forgot it.
Septimus just pinches the bridge of his nose.
When I see he doesn't have a pirate hat, I just go, fucking poser.
Septimus, give me a quick perception check with disadvantage. And I'll ask Jacquette, you can make the same perception check, not at disadvantage, for when he enters the room.
Let's go. 15.
Nice. That's what you needed. You see at the belt buckle where his red tunic is tucked in, you can see nestled within the belt buckle is a pistol, as well as a typical pirate sword. Jacquette, what did you get for your perception check?
21.
Yeah, so Jacquette, you would see this. You would be able to clock the pistol as well as you would see Hastings enter into the chamber. and approaches you. He stops about 20 feet from you and looks around the room. And says,
"Hello there."
Captain Hastings.
We have to stop meeting in such dreary places, Syndill.
Can you remind me what Syndill's voice is? Like?
Kind of like yours, but a little Viking flair to it more so.
You're the one who always... You're the one who always chooses the spot.
Give me a deception check.
Come on.
Can I maybe get advantage for spending all that time trying to figure out her mannerisms?
I will give you a +1.
Oh no, we're so fucked.
All right, it doesn't matter.
Do you
It's
want
an
to say? Do you want?
Oh,
to
that's right. That's right.
Okay.
I should have blessed him.
Yeah. You also could have given yourself bardic inspiration before.
I could have done a lot of things.
Okay, so an 18.
Yeah.
He seems to not react negatively to your imitation, your deception.
Mm-hmm.
And he looks and he says, "That's true, but I'm sure we can find a safer location. Do you have what I need?"
Jacquet just holds up the device.
And will work precisely to my requests.
Has it ever not?
And he walks up to you now, closer to you.
Mm-hmm.
And he holds his hand out to you to give it to him.
Puts it out.
He grabs it. Well, there was the debacle at the Spire.
Yes, I read about that in the paper. It must have been error on your account. Whoever you sent out there probably fucked it up.
Show me how it works.
Do I recall at all how this thing works? No.
Did
Jacquet
you at
was
any
not paying
point pay attention to
No,
Bruce and Septimus working on
no.
it?
Not at all. So looking at it, is there like a hand, like a thing that looks like you turn it?
Do you want to give me a investigation or insight check?
I'll do insight. 10.
So there, you look at it, and he'll even like hold it out to you, and he smiles as he does so, and then you take it, and you can see it does, the top where the vial is does seem like it should crank and turn. Is your immediate instinct with a 10.
And so at this, I'm going to start to walk to like the side, to like be standing side to side with him as I look at it. So I'm like pointing at it, and I just go, "You just turn this up here."
Simple. When you're ready.
And is there a fail-safe? A method deactivated early?
I don't believe you asked for that. I made it exactly as you specified.
I very precisely asked for that.
Oh, did you? And at this, Jacques is going to kind of step around to behind him. My intent being he is between me and the pool.
Okay, yeah. As you step around him and get to this position, he draws the pistol and points it at you.
I move.
And who exactly
No.
are you?
The person who's going to take you down. And then, saying this, he like raises his hand and bonus action, if you'll allow me. And if you want to do initiative,
We
to,
are
like,
gonna
see who
we
gets
are
to
gonna
react
do the
first.
initiative for this.
Okay.
Everyone can roll initiative now.
Help him, Fear.
I'm far away. Oh, not 20 on initiative. Let's go.
It really matters what his initiative count is. Because I have a plan that's like, I'm not going to say it's foolproof, but it's pretty damn good if I do say so myself.
Idiot proof.
Idiot.
I'm an idiot, so clearly.
Okay, let me just roll his initiative real quick. All right, 20 to 25.
22.
Uh, 15 to 19.
17.
No.
Jacques, what's your dexterity?
+4.
Good to know.
Alex.
What did he got?
Oh no! Oh, Alex!
You gotta. Oh, because you have a minus. Yeah. 10
my
to 15.
14.
10.
It's so Bruce.
Bruce, you got a 0.
It's so perfect.
I got a 0.
Got a 0.
It's funny because I'm almost like, you just don't fight, man. Like, you're out of the. Like, you have no initiative.
It's too perfect.
And Septimus, you said 14?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Oh, God.
Fearn, you hear this from you hear the commotion inside as Jacques says this. What do you do?
I see
You're up
everything
first.
that's going on inside.
Yes, you see it through your eye. Yes, yeah.
Yep. So,
You see him pull the gun out, and you see Jacques start to say what he said.
right.
Well,
so
you hear
as-
that because Jacques probably talking loudly at that point.
As soon as I saw the gun, I like started bolting. So I'm just gonna try and close the gap and get to him. Like,
Okay.
I know I'm in between him and the door, but I want to like get up in there.
Yeah, so if you want to close the gap, you probably won't get to him with just your movement. So if you wanted to use your dash, you can.
How far away would I be from him from what movement?
Let me take a look. Let me reposition everyone.
I just realized my plan isn't going to work anyways. Oops.
I don't know what your plan was, so
It's like it wasn't idiot proof.
He's 60 feet from. Well, actually no, because if you were hiding behind one of the pillars, right?
I guess, but I probably would have thought about planning to, jump in there.
But
So
what I mean is, would you have, while he was inside, would you have moved up to the edge of the door, or would you have stayed behind the pillar waiting to jump in?
I
Because
probably
that just adds
would've-
like 5 or 10 feet. That's all I'm asking.
Yeah, I would say I would have moved up.
Okay, then he's 60 feet away from you.
Okay. I'm going to use 30 feet of my movement to get inside of the room. Actually, I don't know if I want to dash or if I want to cast a spell. I'm gonna dash and get up right behind him.
Okay, well, you can only get really up in front of, next to him. You can't get behind
Oh,
him.
he's 60 feet from
Yes.
after I move. Okay.
Oh, no.
Well,
I mean, no, he's 60 feet away from you, so if you get up to him, you can get, like, in front of him. You can't get behind him, is what I'm saying.
Right. I was just saying behind behind doesn't mean anything. It just means within 5 feet of him.
You can get within 5 feet of him, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, I just I run in there with my sword drawn and I'm just like ready to attack and I'm sprinting towards him. Not silently, but also not like screaming like I usually am into battle.
Yeah, sure.
Meow.
Oh.
So this is all happening
That's a battle cry.
simultaneously. Like as Fearn is running in, we then get to initiative count 17, where Captain Hastings goes before our friend here.
Oh boy.
Because he has +5. And he's gonna shoot you.
Okay.
That's at disadvantage because he's within 5 feet of an enemy with a weapon out.
I think that's correct, yes.
Alright, never mind.
Yeah, because I'm not operating because I could argue.
Unless you got
up-
crossbow mastery.
No. I'm talking about I could. I'm trying to play this dramatically how it would have run if I was just playing this meta. He could disengage from you pretty easily, but I'm gonna play it as is. Okay, so disadvantaged attack on you. Where is my?
Although I don't know if that works with your new rules, like with advantage and disadvantage.
So it's not a part of flanking.
not
It's
part
part
of
of
flanking,
it's a
right.
part of how
Ranged
ranged attacks work.
yeah.
Okay. Does a 16 hit you, Joquette?
Yep, just hits.
Okay. Okay. Where's my dice?
Kill me.
No.
22 points of piercing damage. I'm sorry, 23 points of piercing damage.
Jacquette is down.
No.
No.
So yeah, so
Oh my
you
God.
all watch, like, basically, like, Fearn comes running in, and I'm sure, you know, in initiative eventually Septimus will be joining, but Sass, you can see this. Bruce, you can see this. Hastings, as soon as Jacquette starts talking, he doesn't even get to finish his sentence saying that I am the end of you, as you were saying. Actually, what exactly did you say, Jacquette, so we can all feel this moment?
What were your last words?
The one who's going to take you down.
Loud bang echoes, and you hear it, and you hear it echoing into that crevasse.
Ah, shit.
As Jacquette, you feel the bullet hits you. You could feel the blood filling your tunic. He falls to the ground as Fearn comes running up next to him. And he looks at Fearn as he approaches. There you are.
Bastard!
Takes a second shot at Fearn. Disadvantaged. This one's probably not going to hit. That's a... my brain is breaking. That's definitely... It's not going to hit you, Fearn. He rolled a 5 on the dice.
Yeah, it's not happening.
Yeah, because you... what is your AC? Your AC is super high,
17,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, no, he's not going to hit you. No. So, as you come up, Fearn, he actually fires at you, and it does... like, he just misses. Like, basically, you're running up, and he just pulls it over and fires at you, and you are moving too quickly for him, and it just flies off and hits the wall. Okay. Darquette, give me a death saving throw.
Mm-hmm. 19.
Okay. So, that's a pass. The sounds of the gunfire have reawoken the scuttler crab, and another one has awoken as they rise up out of the water. Septimus, you're up. Sass, you're on deck, then Bruce. So Septimus, he's 60 feet away from you. You hear the gunshot, and you hear the body hit the ground, and you hear Fearn cry out at him, and then you hear that second gunshot. And you can do what you wish.
Does temporary hit points stabilize somebody that's downed?
No, they do not.
No, they don't. Oh. Well, in that case... Oh my god. I don't know what to do.
What do you do, Septimus? Sass, you're on deck.
Well, I'll go to the doorway at least.
Okay.
I'll be like, oh shit, what am I doing? And I imagine there's like I want to keep my distance at least. There's like a rock or something on the floor that's like near me, right?
Like something to hide behind, or just a rock that you can pick up?
No, like a small rock. That's...
Yeah, no, you could there's plenty of pebbles and stuff here.
Or like a stone.
Yeah, something you can hold in your hand, something sturdy enough.
If I could see something that's like that loose somewhere on the ground, I'll cast catapult on that.
Excellent.
And hurl it towards him.
Okay, and is that a saving throw?
It is a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. Okay, he got a 13.
Oh, okay, good. He gets hit.
Nice.
Bam. He gets smacked in the face by a stone flying right at him. He takes 12 points of bludgeoning damage.
12 points of bludgeoning, nice. All right, anything else, Septimus?
That's a good question. I don't think so. Bonus actions. Where are my bonus actions? There we go. Oh, I can't cast two spells at a time. So yep, that's it.
That didn't seem necessary, but okay.
Well, me knocking you down.
No, I'm teasing.
Okay.
I thought you were talking about me hurling a rock at him.
That also doesn't seem necessary. Kill him.
Sass, you're up.
Where am I?
So actually, that's a good question. I didn't. Where would you have hidden while you were invisible?
Probably like, I would have gone in and I would have found the first like rock outcropping or something. Yeah. Even though I'm invisible, but just in case I go visible.
Right
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Cool. All right. So seeing Hastings and now knowing what he looks like and seeing what a jerk he is, I am going to use my movement to tiptoe up to him. So I want to get right next to him.
Yep, you can do that.
Yeah, and I want to, in the same motion, like I'm gonna use my action to summon my my cutlass, and I know that's gonna break invisibility, but I want to flavor it in a way where I sneak up and like I summon it, and it's at its throat. If I'm able to do that.
Okay.
And then just for flavor's sake, because I can't actually do anything, to have my other hand glowing like it's about to cast an Eldritch Blast, but I can't do that because I already used my action. And I can't summon a tentacle because I used both my spots for that already, and we have not long rested.
Okay. So yeah, do you say anything when you appear with the cutlass at his neck?
Yeah, I just had it and I fucking lost it. Give me a second. Okay, yep. Nice to finally meet you, Captain.
Okay. Bruce.
I don't even know who you are.
But I know your vibe.
Literally that meme.
I know, right? Bruce, you're up.
So where am I?
Oh yeah, sorry. I put you behind these rocks here.
Yeah, that's a good.
Yeah, if you're somewhere else on the map that you think you would have preferred to have hidden.
No, that's perfect. That's probably where Bruce would have been.
So yeah, so Bruce, you can see everything, and you are still within your silent image.
Yeah, Bruce is panicking, for sure. He's actually just gonna, having seen Jacket, fall to the ground. He's going to just stumble, like pulling things out of his bag of holding. His like water jug is gonna fall on the ground, and and he's gonna take out the case of potions, and he's gonna undo it and grab one of the healing potions, and I imagine he's not going to move forward because he's still very terrified about moving into the threat range.
Yeah,
as
but
of right
have the potion ready to go when he sees an opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So yeah, so you all hear kind of all the stuff, the scrap metal and stuff falling out. You can see the jug falls in. You can see some mayonnaise pours out of it a little bit. And he has the potion. You can't really, you just know he's there. You don't really see him. He's hidden still, but some of the stuff falls out. As the captain is smirking at Fear now. I know we are approaching the end, so I'm just going to get through to the captain's next turn, and then we are going to end in a cliffhanger here. Fear, you are up. Hastings is on deck.
Okay. Let's go with a cantrip. We're gonna wait. Hold on. Does Booming Blade deal any damage? Yes. Okay. I'm gonna try and do the old Booming Blade strategy. Or I could take 2 attacks. Probably 2 attacks is better for now. But Booming Blade's kind of like guaranteed hit. Alright, I'm gonna swing with a regular attack and maybe... Can you Booming Blade on the second attack?
What is
it consumes your entire attack action.
Yeah, you only get to attack once with Booming Blade.
But that's the case when you, are using multiple strikes when you're a higher level. But if I used Action Surge...
if you used Action Surge, you would get your attack action back, but it wouldn't be affected by Booming Blade. Your first attack with the Booming Blade is what gets affected.
But gotcha. Okay, so I'm gonna take the first attack with the Booming Blade then.
Okay, go for it. So what does your Booming Blade look like when you summon it?
Basically, from what I said, bastard, I muttered like some incantation afterwards, and it's just kind of portrays as like a sheen that like it looks like there was like just a flash of light that glanced off the blade of my greatsword, and as it reaches the tip of the greatsword, there's a streaming bluish light that is coming off of the swing as I kind of hurl it sideways towards him.
Excellent. Go for the attack roll.
16 plus 7 is 23.
That'll hit.
All right. Damage. We got 13 slashing damage.
13 slashing. Nice. And he's wreathed in the booming energy.
Yep. And then I'm going to hit him with an action surge. Gonna swing at him again for round 2.
Go for it.
11 to hit. Probably not.
11 does not hit.
Okay.
Third attack.
I don't have a third
Oh, wait.
attack.
I forgot you guys are level 4.
I hope you didn't forget we're level 4, Sean.
No. It's okay. It's okay. Okay, so on Hastings' turn, so he gets the cutlass at his neck, and then you bring the blade into his side, catching his side, not piercing 100% through his armor, but dealing that damage and wreathing him in the booming energy. And he looks to the two of you, and can't really look back at Sass, but he just looks to the two of you and says, "I'm assuming I've wronged you at some point. Well, I hope Syndill's still alive." And then he, boom, hits his head back into your face, Sass. Mostly for flavor, because you don't actually have him grappled, so he can't. He's not really at risk of you cutting his throat.
That's right.
So he hits you at the back of his head, so that your blade's not at his throat. And he fires the gun at Theron.
That would be a disadvantage again.
Oh, I'm sorry. He is going to take the booming blade damage to disengage.
I would like an attack of opportunity, please. Oh, disengage?
No, he uses bonus action to disengage.
Oh, okay. He's a
pirate.
roguey boy. Yeah, of course, okay. Swashbuckler.
And he moves away from you all towards the door now.
Oh no.
And he looks to the two of you after bashing Sass in the nose and then slipping away from Theron. He looks back at you two with a big smirk on his face. And you can see his smile is crooked in a way because of the crystal growth in the side of his face. So it has this and you can see his teeth are crystalline as well, in that same kind of yellow color. And he just looks to the two of you and says, "I'm sure we'll meet again, hopefully under better circumstances." And he turns around and sees Septimus there. And Septimus, you see his face shrinks a little bit, and then he kind of sees your unsteadiness, and he points the gun at and shoots at you.
No.
No.
Septimus, 26 to hit.
Oh,
Yeah, you know what? I don't think that's gonna hit.
Jesus. Your mechanical arm catches the bullet, right? That's what
Yeah.
happens. Oh my god.
That's 17 points of piercing damage.
Ow.
Are you still up?
No, yeah, no, I'm
Okay, good.
Oh.
It's gonna hit you again with a 27.
How many times has made again?
It's 2 attacks. He's got 2 attacks.
He doesn't have to reload that thing?
He's got crossbow expert basically. 21 points of piercing damage.
Oh.
I'm down.
Oh no.
Does that double your hit points?
Oh my god.
What? No, it's not.
God, fuck this guy.
He basically, he walks away very, very menacingly. Shoots Jacquet, hits you in the head, bleeds away or leeches away from Theron, walks up, sees this person, shoots them twice, dead to the ground, and keeps walking. It's at this point that you hear scuttering from the other side of the room as these crabs are now coming out of the water towards you, and you look. And Sass, you see stepping out from the shadows of this crevasse.
Yep.
You see a crab-like creature, humanoid in shape, steps out and points a trident at you all, holding this big net on one hand. One arm has a normal humanoid hand. One arm has a claw. Chitin all over. Big head plate of crab-like carapace as it points this trident at you lot, and just sort of you hear this crackling noise under. It doesn't screech or anything. It doesn't speak in those ways. It just has this sort of crackling noise. Chittering, thank you. That's the word I couldn't think of. Steps out, followed by another one. And then you hear this loud as something bigger is in there. And that's where we're gonna end tonight. Don't take my moment away from me, Shannon.
I knew I should have tried to disarm the gun.
Oh, we're so fucked.
Oopsie poopsie.
All right, that is our adventure for today. Will Septimus and Jacquet die, bleeding on the rocks of this cave? Or will everything work out just fine in the end? And we'll find out next week. I don't know, the music ended in a moment there, and I was like, I have nothing cool to say. All right, folks, that's it for tonight. We're gonna send a raid on over to someone in the community. Let's see. We're gonna send a raid on over to Queen's Court Games. So go ahead and give them our love. Join us next week to see how this encounter ends. If they'll be eaten by crabs, or if they'll catch Hastings before he gets away. And find out what happens. And then catch us on Sunday for the John and Shannon Power Hour, where we're going to discuss this episode and probably a little bit of the previous two, because we didn't get to recap those. Yeah. And we'll see y'all back here. I got some crab minis to paint so that they're not just orange. But I'm gonna paint your guys first.
Woo!
I know, right? All right, everybody. I should actually have the raid go. All right, folks, we will see you soon. Say goodnight, everybody.
Good night,
Bye-bye.
everybody.
Good night.
Good night.